There it goes.
I hit go live in Streamlabs like 5 minutes before 9. Because that's what I normally do. 5, 10 minutes before 9, I hit go live. And apparently it never hit live on YouTube. So for the last, I don't know, we've just been sitting here chit chatting, just me and you.
Guess
22
so.
minutes. 22 minutes of wasted stream time. That's that. See, and I was sitting here. Remember I told you that I make mistakes all the time. Because we were
Yeah.
talking about the fact that you hear the TV in the background on yours. I was like,
Yeah.
it's not that big of an issue because I make stupid mistakes all the time. I don't make the not having stuff turned off. I don't make the mistake of having background noise anymore. I have my own office. I turn off the air conditioner. I die for like 2 hours during the summer because I have to turn the air conditioner off, which is literally sitting right there in the window right behind me. In fact, you can see it right there.
Window unit.
So
I guess it's pretty
I
loud.
die. It's literally right here. So I mean, I turn this thing on here. Let me see. I turn this on, and I'm sure that's loud. It's got to be.
It's not crazy.
Well, it's enough background noise that I think it would be irritating.
Sure.
Um, so I turned that off for like the 2 hours, 3 hours that I'm sitting here. Um, uh, I make other stupid mistakes. I think the one time I forgot to mute my mic for like 20 minutes. I'm just sitting here talking. Nobody can hear me. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not a PewDiePie or a Markiplier or let's see, some other big name. I'm not Cletus McFarlane.
Well, if you had that many viewers and that was your job, then
I
I'm
I
sure you
think
could.
I think they have actual some of them actually have people that do the background stuff for them. Not to mention
Understand.
some of them have some pretty. I mean, geez, you look at Outlaw SS. He's been on my show a few
Mhm.
times. He's got a whole freaking keyboard dedicated to just shortcuts for Streamlabs. Hits a button and it switches scenes, or it plays a freaking some soundboard clip. I'm working with an 11-year-old Alienware laptop. That's actually what I use for watching the stream, making sure that there's whatever. See now, yeah, now we got YouTube views up there. We got 3 people in there now. Okay. Um, but I use the Alienware, which is what I originally started with, not way back, because I had another built computer. Went through a divorce, lost all that stuff. Girlfriend gave me her friend's used Alienware laptop. That's what I was doing videos on since like 2015. Until it's not able to keep up anymore doing that intensive stuff. Does just fine streaming the internet, doing all that stupid stuff. Um, but as far as video rendering or doing this live stream, it can't handle it. That's why we built this. Um, but yeah, it's just you know still make mistakes. In fact, actually, right now I am in the process of completely relearning a whole new editing software that I don't like. I shouldn't say I don't like it. I like what it can do. I don't like the learning curve.
Right. Well,
It's
as soon as you get learned, though,
yeah, it's
after you have it
Filmora
learned, it's
Pro.
gonna be nothing.
It's
What?
actually yeah, Filmora, I think, right? No, no,
Never
I'm
heard of
sorry. No,
that.
that's what I was using. I was using Filmora. I'm using DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
And
Pretty
oh my
cheap or is
god,
it expensive?
it's well, they have a free version and then they have a pro version. The pro version's expensive. Um,
Right.
the free version gives you everything almost that the pro one has, except for a few simple things, I think. Um, but it was either that or switching to Adobe.
Yeah.
And Adobe has its own issues.
Sure. Of course.
And not to
And it's
mention
and
the
it's super
price.
expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like $230 a year, I think.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I think it's a yearly fee now. I
Um,
think a lot of people are going to that. Even Microsoft Office, which I think you can still get it, but even that's you pay by the year now, a
yeah, but even
subscription fee.
Microsoft Office doesn't have. I don't think that has a video editing software in it.
No, I don't think it does. I was just
Because
saying, I think everybody's going to that yearly annual fees or whatever
oh yeah,
subscription fee.
Microsoft Office has had that for years. Most of them have it.
What? And I have Cyberlink, and usually every other year I'll update it. Cyberlink Power Director, whatever. I'll go ahead and buy the updated software. But now it's annual subscription, so I'll just stick with my 2018 and keep it.
Exactly. And the thing is I have the online version of Microsoft Office. Absolutely hate it. Number one, it forces you to use OneDrive, and OneDrive absolutely, like, I tried to take some stuff off of OneDrive, and not only did it delete it off of OneDrive, it deleted it off my computer at the same time. I almost lost all of my video stuff. If it wasn't for recovering it, I would have lost it all. I was furious. In fact, I have OneDrive turned off on my computer now. I mean, I don't mind being able to store stuff on the cloud,
Sure.
but if I delete something off the cloud, don't delete it off my computer too.
Right, right. It sure should pop up and say, "Do you want to delete it from both places?" or give you
Yeah,
that option. It
exactly.
shouldn't be automatic.
Yeah, I don't want it to automatically delete stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want it to move that shit. I mean, I understand if it deletes it off of the file folder OneDrive in my computer, but if I have something that I have saved on an external hard drive that I have backed up on the OneDrive, I don't want it to delete it from both places. I just
Right.
didn't need it on the OneDrive anymore. It's just I like technology, but sometimes technology just infuriates me. Um, yeah, like right now I'm actually hunting. Like I've had this keyboard here forever. I mean, this has got to be an mid 2000s, early 2000s, NK320. It's old as can be. I mean, it's old. But with gaming, I have an issue with it. With button presses and stuff like that. That's something that you don't normally have an issue with just typing. And now that I started gaming with the keyboard, it's like, wow. I played on a gaming keyboard and I played on that, and I'm like, I didn't realize what I was missing until I was playing on something else.
Right.
And so now I'm looking into that, and it's so frustrating because, like, you can pick up a regular keyboard just for typing and doing web browsing and stuff like that for what, like 10, $20,
Yeah, a
right?
nice one's $20. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what a nice gaming keyboard starts out as? I mean, not even just for gaming, but a nice mechanical keyboard.
I was gonna say if it says it's for gaming, I'm gonna guess $100, but
You're actually no. An actual nice gaming computer is pushing $150 to $200, and
just
that's
for
a
the
low
keyboard.
end gaming keyboard.
Wow.
And it's not necessarily marketed just for gaming, but it's a nice
Sure.
mechanical keyboard. Um, and an actual like I built the custom computer, right?
Hmm.
A custom keyboard where you pick the switches and the stuff and all that stuff. You're talking anywhere from going up into like $3,000-4,000 for a keyboard.
Wow.
Whoa.
For a keyboard.
Yeah, I don't
That's
see that. That don't see like unless it's literally your profession.
right. It wouldn't make
That's
sense.
right. Well, then
Well,
again,
no.
half the shit we do to our cars doesn't make sense either.
Right. I have a thing I always do is I always price. I could buy a car for that, and at that much money, you could definitely buy a car.
Yeah. Like I said, the next big purchase I'm looking at is the um who makes it? It's Sniper EFI. I think is that Holly? I think that's Holly. But it's their quadrajet based throttle body fuel injection all in one unit.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it is Holly.
Yeah, it
The one. Well,
literally
I know Holly makes
it's
one.
about the same footprint as a quadrajet, and it should fit underneath the air cleaner where most quadrajets fit.
That's the
Uh,
one that has like 6 wires or something like that. It's
yeah,
all one harness.
yeah, and it should fit underneath the stock air cleaner for my Trans Am, which means I can run the stock shaker, which is the big deal. I don't want to swap up and then lose the shaker. I'm not one of those people that'll do the whole let me bolt the shaker to the underside of the hood.
Right.
Number one, I always find that really, really stupid because it always puts the shaker up way too high up into the hood. The shaker's not supposed to stick 2-3 inches above the hood. It's
Well, it's
not.
supposed to look a certain way. That's the part of having that
Exactly. I mean,
car is
you
the
can see
beauty
it.
of it.
Well, I'm actually covering it up. You can see it here in this picture. It's a black thing that's sitting there.
Yep.
Literally, should only stick up like maybe an inch above the hood. And we have Chris. Welcome aboard.
What's up?
I just done goofed for the last 20 minutes. Me and Cletus here, we were just having our own little freaking live stream, just to ourselves here in Streamlabs, and all of YouTube World was not partaking. Because I never hit I hit the go live in Streamlabs and never hit go live in YouTube. And if it wasn't for Pilot asking me if anybody was here,
to your defense, you have had a 2 or 3 week hiatus vacation.
And it's not just that; it's just it's a whole emotional journey. I mean, between the fact of not having everybody joining the live stream, and then the crap that happened in the live stream chat the other day, and the whole coronavirus thing, and then the freaking BLM and everything else, which I don't really want to bring any of that stuff up in the chat itself. It's just been. It has been screwing with my depression like you would have no idea.
When you get an opportunity, you need to do me a favor.
What's that?
You need to, private, obviously, but drop me your address.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a sample of something that I just got involved with that I think may aid you very, very greatly with those lines that you were just discussing.
Well, now where the hell is everybody popping in from? Because Big E told me he wasn't joining, and then he told me he would message me if he was joining, and poop, here he is. Not poop, but boop.
Yeah, poop. Here I am.
You know I'll get here every time unless I'm at the house, which is very rarely. Usually I'm running.
I think I need to clean house in the live stream chat. Or just start another one where I just post a link because it's just insanely out of hand. And half the people that are in there, either A, never message, or B, never join the live stream.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of that, is that way, people can join. And then I've had people that have joined once and then have been sitting in that chat a year now, hasn't joined again.
Mm-hmm.
But we need a bunch of people in here that are going to actually make this live stream popping.
Well, not that I'd want to take over your live stream, but I think I could get some people that are into car stuff on here. I'm sure they like to do stuff.
I don't mind having special guests here and there and different things, but the thing is we need to be able to have enough people in here to have a good conversation. Sure. That way, people that are watching it are entertained. And I'm not that entertaining by myself. Just not.
Not with that attitude.
Hey, I had nothing going on right now. I mean, if I had stuff going on, like stuff going on with the channel, things like that, it'd be a different story. I haven't been to a car event. I haven't been to anything except for work and home for the last freaking 2-3 months. I've got nothing. I'm dry out of information. This is about the only thing I got going on, and it's been sucking my money for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It originally started out as a Ryzen 5 2600. It's now a Ryzen 9 3900X. That's about 5 times the price just in CPU from what I started with to what is in there now. That CPU's what, $500-$600 now?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Are you in the realms of the baby Ferrari of gaming systems now?
That's not even. This isn't even a gaming system anymore. It is overkill for a gaming system. The only thing that's not overkill for the gaming system is the GPU at this point.
Put it in terms of us non-technical fat dumbasses who understand. Okay. What kind of cars are
gaming? Let's just say this: like a gaming computer is like a Ferrari. This is like one of those giant ass dump trucks you see at the coal mine.
Okay.
Okay. This thing is no longer. I mean, it will game just fine. It will crush gaming just fine. But what this thing is meant to do now. This is a workstation at this point. It is meant to video edit, and it has enough computer power to video edit anything I want it to. So I mean, the only thing that I can do better is to increase the RAM, and when AMD comes out with their new graphics cards, increase the graphics card. Because right now her computer is set up exactly the same as mine, except for instead of it having a 16, no, this is a 12-core processor. Instead of having a 12-core processor, hers has an 8-core. But she has twice the amount of RAM that I do in the same graphics card. So,
Sweet Jesus.
why is my... Oh, I guess she came home early. My girlfriend just came home and my freaking phone alarm went off. Oh. I wasn't expecting her home yet. I wasn't expecting her home for another, like, 2 hours. Which is good for her because she's been at work all day.
Oh. My mom speaking of work, my mom just told me earlier that she works at a paper mill and she works security, and like just security is going to start switching to 12-hour shifts instead of 8-hour shifts.
12-hour shifts, 4 days a week. 4 on, 3 off.
Something like that.
That's what my work was going to switch to right before I left, and I'm like, nope, I want no parts of that. If I want to spend 12 hours in a psych ward, I want to do it voluntarily.
Oh yeah, for real.
Not because I'm stuck there for 12 hours. You know, it's one thing doing 12 hours. Hey, we got Joe in the house down in the comments. He's another second-gen Dodge Ram fan. In fact, he's actually making a SEMA build for his Dodge Ram.
Oh wow,
You should
that's
go
a
check
big
it out.
job there.
It's sweet. I think he's got the frame done. The frame's completely been sent out, sandblasted, and powder coat. At least powder coated or painted. I forget which one. The engine's done. I mean, I have never seen a 360 look so good.
What's the name of his channel?
Wicked Fabs.
Oh, okay.
There you go, Joe. You got a new subscriber possibly already.
Oh yeah.
He's been up here on the channel as well. His slogan is what is it? Hunting bucks and driving trucks or something like that. I'm sure he'll correct me down in the comments with the actual slogan. But he does hunting in the winter and he works on the cars and stuff during the summer.
All right. Well, I just subscribed. I'll get to check it out. I always looking for new automotive channels.
I do too. I mean, you get to a point to where, like, even ones you love, that like they start straying away from the content that brought you to them, and they'll probably cycle back around to it. But you know what I mean? It's just the ebb and flow. It's not always necessarily every video they put out something that you necessarily enjoy. I mean, I catch his hunting videos here and there, but do I watch every one of them? No. Do I watch his truck content? For the most part, yeah. Do I catch every single truck video? No, just the ones that catch my interest. But that's with every channel that I watch. If I had sat down and watched every video that I'm subscribed to, I'd never get off of YouTube. Like 300 and some subscriptions. Not everything that they put out is stuff that I want to watch.
Right. Well, and that's, I'm sure everybody understands that. I mean, not all content's for you. It's like some of these cars that I've been working on my channel. Some of them I don't even enjoy, but I've got to work on them, so I make a video on them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Why do you think the Kia videos that are on my channel? They're there. Why? Because I had to work on it. So might as well get some money back for it. If I got to put money into it, I might as well get some money back.
Well, and somebody might enjoy it, just because I don't enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
the car itself.
I mean, replacing a brake light in a 2012 Kia Soul. Boring ass video in the world. You pop the two or three screws out, you pull it off, you replace the bulb, you put it back. Do you know what? It's one of my 10th highest rated videos.
Hey, that's part of that YouTube University stuff right there, though.
Right? That's my bread and
butter.
butter.
It out, they get on there.
That's my bread and butter. My bread and butter is the boring crap.
Yeah.
The stuff that I don't find interesting is normal freaking, whatever, but somebody else doesn't understand it. So go for it. I have no problem. I have been sitting on this video since I moved here, which was back in March. I've been sitting on this video. It is literally taking a dishwasher that's a portable dishwasher, hook it up to your sink, right? And I converted it not into an under the sink hookup, but I converted it to hook up to a washer dryer hookup.
Oh.
Yeah, you had been talking about that. You need to get that out there. I know people will watch it.
Oh yeah, I just
Mhm.
it's a matter of finding the
Shucks.
motivation. And the thing is it's if I was still using my old software, I'd have it out in a heartbeat because I can bang a video out in that quickly. This new one and the way that it's set up, it's just I haven't had the motivation to dig into it.
And here I was on the edge of my seat about to fall off with anticipated excitement, thinking he was going to say, I converted it to a parts washer. After all, what the hell? I rebuilt my
Hey,
Yeah,
you
that'd
know
be
transmission.
what the
cool.
wife
That would
doesn't
be
know?
cool.
What the missus doesn't know I put in that dishwasher when she's not home. You know, she does not hurt her.
It's
Just
only
a
a part
universal
washer if the
cleanser.
wife knows that there's been parts in it.
Right, exactly. So I think I don't know why my kid's back out of bed.
Yeah, y'all do realize you just banned me at the house for the kitchen with Miss Formy because I got a few things that need cleaned and we don't use ours. But man, we got one hell of a big commercial style washer that'll go flip, flip, flip.
I mean, if it works.
Yeah,
Now, she might not be
kind of like
happy with it.
kind of like the microwave. So right, set it and forget it, or the whatever
There you
that
go.
thing
Yeah.
is they advertise.
Uh,
That oven thing they advertise here on TV the past couple years.
like Fab
It'll
said,
cook
same
once
thing with
they
the
cook.
oven. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
but
set
then
it,
again,
forget it.
I have a partner that literally told me to rebuild the Dodge transmission on the kitchen table.
Yeah, better than doing it outside, right?
Yeah, well, that's what she said. She goes, "You're taking forever doing it outside because I had to wait for We live in Pennsylvania. It's raining every other day.
Too cold.
It's that or it's too. It was like March, so it wasn't too cold. It was just raining constantly. So whenever it rained, I couldn't do anything because I had to leave everything underneath the tarp. You know, and so I could only work on it when it was sunny outside, and I wasn't working.
Yeah.
You know,
Working
so it's just like
outside's
screw
on
this.
garage
Just do it
sucks.
inside. Do it on the kitchen table. You got light. There's no rain. Just do it. Get it done. And
What?
we had that done in less than a week. We had it back
You
together.
just put a
and back
tarp
up in the
down or
truck.
something?
Huh?
You just put a tarp over the table?
No, it's my table. It was just it was a table that
Give
it
it
was
some
a
character, right?
what 4 or 5 foot round, just like crappy Walmart table, that I literally pulled out of the garbage like 3 years before that. So it just looked nice, but I have no money into it. So yeah, I threw a piece of cardboard down over top of it, but at the end of the day, you just wipe it down, and it's got a few more nicks or dents in it that it didn't have before that, but it just gives it character.
I was gonna say
Hey,
it's just character. That's all.
Well, maybe transmission fluid is good for a wood table.
Maybe.
You never know.
But no, we normally clean like
That's
all of those parts by the time they hit the table, except for whatever I was coating in transmission fluid to put it back in the transmission, were dry. They were all
Oh, I
clean
gotcha.
parts, everything. You know what I mean? I didn't tear
You're
it
going to
apart.
reassembly on the table.
Yes, I reassembled on the table.
I
I think the only thing that I tore apart on the table was the valve body itself, because we didn't pre disassemble that before we went to go put it together because there's too many small parts in it.
Yeah.
But like all the clutch packs and stuff, they were new. You know, all of the main planetary gears and all that stuff was washed. But yeah, I've always done car stuff inside because I've never had a shop, and like I have a shop now, but it's not mine. It's my girlfriend's grandparents' shop. It's actually their actual garage. So like it's not like I can just like take it over forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have a garage. I don't know if you guys have watched any of my videos, but it's all outside. So I have to,
I've done
No,
that
if
for
it's raining,
years.
I'm done. You know, I better hope I have something on the inside of the car to do, like a radio or something, because if not, I'm not working on it.
Yeah,
Or
I've
if
done
it's,
that for
you know,
years.
it don't ever snow here, but if it does,
I have done main bearings. So the connecting rod and main bearings in the bottom of a 350 in my Nova. You know not the gravel that's like this big around, okay?
not,
But I'm talking
pea
about
gravel.
the gravel chunks that are like this.
Yeah,
The sharp, jagged, not the round polished stones, but the busted rock that's like, you know, 2.5, 3 inches, you know.
parking lot gravel.
Because
Base
parking
crush.
lot gravel is whatever. This is more like railroad
crushed
tie
for building
gravel.
underneath concrete.
Yeah, or stuff that they would
Foundation.
throw underneath of like railroad ties
Foundation
and stuff like that.
stone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is that big, thick. I'm talking, bigger than pool ball chunks, and they're jagged and sharp. I was laying on those underneath of my Nova, swapping out bearings, while the engine was still in the car.
Wow.
God damn.
Because it's where I had to work. I've worked in the mud. I've worked. Chevy found out the day that we worked in the mud, and what happens when you work in the mud on jack stands. We were doing the.
But they settle.
we were doing the transmission in the truck, and we had the back end of the truck up in the air, and the truck decided to slide off to the passenger side, and the whole back end came down off the jacks, while he was still under it.
You got to do one of them old miner tricks there and put you a huge log under there with you, so you're protected.
Well, I mean, like if I had the wheels off of it, the wheels would be underneath the rear axle.
I got you.
So I mean, but the wheels were still on it. We lifted up because we were doing the drive shaft and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if you've ever seen a 01 1500 off-road edition with 35s.
No, but I had a 01 with 38s on it. So
you can sit underneath that damn truck and work on it. You don't even need to jack it up. So, I mean, like, he was sitting under that truck, and it came down, and he was still sitting underneath that truck. The truck was just a little closer to his head than it was before.
Yeah,
and his pants were a little more full than they were before.
Right?
So, let's see. Let's get one of our thingies going on here. What should we do? We'll do this one because it's Big E's favorite one.
What is it? What's wrong with the truck?
Can you see it?
Nah, I just have like a sixth sense.
Yeah, it's what's wrong with. I need to have like theme music for these.
Oh my
Some
god!
dramatic entrance. But yeah, we'll
you
start
could
with
have
me.
like a little.
We'll start with
You
me
could have like
because,
some clip art of my truck like flipping into frame or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. We'll start with me. The only thing wrong with my truck right now is the hydraulic line from the transmission to the oil cooler. The pressured side still has that pinhole leak. Hopefully, I said this while we weren't live streaming, but I thought we were live streaming. But hopefully I will have that off the truck and up to the hydraulic shop within the week or two. Now that most of this COVID scare is over and I don't feel so guilty going up to their house. So, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I can go next, I guess, because there actually is something wrong with the truck.
Again?
Yeah, I got another code. It was... Hang on, I got a picture of it on my phone. Because I can never remember.
Well, you had another interesting fun with your truck the other day. You were telling that I had to help you with.
Oh, yeah, battery. There was just no power for whatever reason.
Did you ever get it checked?
Yeah, I did. Advanced Auto said the battery was more than fine. Putting out over 100 amps more than what it's rated for.
Okay, well then there's definitely was something wrong. Something was loose.
Yeah, I think it could have been the negative terminal.
That's always fun.
Afterwards,
clean it off, tighten it back up.
Yeah, and it starts fine now. Had to jump it off my friend's car, strangely, though. That's the only thing. Like, literally just put the jumper cables on his car, put them on my truck, heard a click, went to start it, started right up. Anyway, I have a P0420 code, plays it. Catalyst system efficiency below threshold, bank 1.
Yeah, I told you what I thought that was. Now, you guys can bounce that idea off as well. I told him it was the O2 sensor off the cat. So it's the downdraft O2 sensor after the cat went bad.
Great.
I see Cletus shaking his head.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that for sure. You know, they have the O2, I don't know if you guys have state inspections, but they have the O2 delete things you could put on there.
Yeah, well, I also have the catalytic converter delete option as well. That's mine and its choice. You just weld the extra well, you have to play around with it a bit, but what you do is after you clean out the cat, you weld an extra bung that gives it a spacer that backs the O2 sensor out of the exhaust pipe just a little bit. And depending on how far out you back it off until you stop tripping the code for it. Because what it does is it pulls the O2 sensor out of the stream of the exhaust and only gets a whiff of the exhaust. So it makes it think. It makes it think that the O2 that the catalytic converter is still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an empty pipe for the cats on my Nova. The Trans Am doesn't have a catalytic converter on it at all. Though I am going to have to put O2 sensors on it if I put that EFI system in it.
Yeah.
And the truck, I am seriously thinking about getting rid of the cat and doing that O2 sensor trick on that because I'm not sure if you've ever heard a Dodge Ram 360 without catalytic converters and an open exhaust. They're pretty gnarly sounding.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean,
would not be a fun daily driver.
I have. Well, the thing is right now it's running with just what is it? I think I have 44s on it. Flowmaster 44s on it right now. And even when I had it opened exhaust, when I first did it and I just took the old exhaust off and before I put the new one on, it was still quiet because of the catalytic converters on that thing are so restrictive. It was still quiet. I mean, it's loud, but it's like. When I mean
Not
quiet, it wasn't Nova Trans Am loud. And now my Trans Am is ridiculously loud because it's running whatever pipes, not their quiet exhaust, but their mid-range exhaust. And it's just open pipe all the way back. There's no catalytics on it, no nothing. It's got a cam in it, so that thing thumps. It's loud. I had a camera sitting on top of my Kia, a good 15 feet away from the Trans Am, and that engine running in the Trans Am was shaking the camera on top of the other car 10 feet away.
Jeez.
So that car's loud. The Nova's kind of loud, but it's louder without the exhaust on it. But that's just a small block 350, no cam, no nothing. Just shaved heads and smaller chambers.
Shaved heads.
Well, yeah, the heads on that one are shaved. Plus, it also has 305 heads on it instead of the 350 heads.
Oh no, I just pictured just like a bar full of bikers and everyone's bald when you said that, though.
The only other thing that I don't have on that Dodge truck right now is it still has stock manifolds on it. I'd love to actually do the whole exhaust on that truck and get rid of the mufflers. I mean the manifolds, put headers on it. Yeah. And then just do a cross pipe behind the transmission and then dump it out. But there you go. That's down the road. Let's get it running and back on the road and go mudding with it before I start replacing things like that.
Yeah.
I've gone like small puddle jumping in that, but I haven't really tried to get it stuck.
Well, if you got it stuck, then you got to get it out.
That's what the friends are for. Yeah, I mean, I'm not far from Send It Steve. I could go join Send It Steve and some of the shenanigans they do. And I know Cletus is watching Send It Steve now, so he sees the mudding that they do.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'd love to go join him in some of those trips that they do. I would not be
some
afraid.
Of it's a little deep for me, even. And I've
that
got
truck,
pretty big truck.
That truck, that Ram is what? The bottom of the door is definitely above my waist. So, I mean, I got a good 2.5, 3 feet of clearance before I have to worry about getting it wet. But, yeah.
I'm going to try to pull up a picture. I would say what's wrong with my truck, but it's more like what's not wrong with it. This truck I'm working on right now.
Well, what's right with it?
Yeah, right. Let's see. I'm going to pull up what I found today on this truck. I was talking about it earlier, I think, before we were actually on the stream here. But
if you guys are in here and enjoying the stream, please hit the like button.
You guys can see that. Pulled the brake drum off to inspect the rear brakes, and there's nothing there.
That is, I mean, I don't know if I'm looking at that right, but that looks like a thin ass freaking axle end.
Oh my god, that is like paper thin.
Unless it's just the lighting.
What are you saying?
The flange that the studs go on. Is that as thin as it looks?
Normal. Nah, it's not. It's thicker. I'm seeing what you're saying. No, it's regular thickness, whatever.
You know,
I
it's
think
just
it's
weight
just the way the
reduction.
picture came.
Just weight reduction.
See,
There you
it's
go.
Yeah, okay.
Just like when Jeremy took Frank out for that freaking rip, and there's only what 3 lug nuts on one rear tire and 4 on the other.
I can't tell you how many times I've driven vehicles around with only 3 lug nuts on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
I
when we
wouldn't
did it,
recommend
probably
taking
wasn't
it out on the
900
highway,
horsepower
but
twin turbo S10.
eh. 3. You only really need
Decided to
3.
shed its rear wheel.
You only really need 3 as long as they're not all on the same side.
Yeah.
The extra 2 are just insurance.
yeah.
Oh, one time, my friends, they were driving back from, I think, I don't think it matters. It's like 45 minutes away. No one knows what I'm talking about anyway. I'm pretty sure.
Probably
Unless
not.
it happened to be from upstate New York.
Yeah.
But
Back fucking country.
they went down south to the the local shopping district, whatever the fuck it is you want to call it there. And on the way back, they're up on the freeway, or I think it was, and the car just started like shaking really badly, and they pulled over and they find out that about the day before they had to take the headlights off the car. I was up at the garage because there was condensation inside the headlights, and they were apparently you gotta take the wheels off to get the headlights out, and they never torqued the lugs back down. And there was only one lug. Well, I can't even say nut because it's a Dodge Dart. It's literally like a bolt that just goes into the hub. It's weird.
Oh, so it's just one. It's a monologue.
No, it's not a monolug. There's 5 bolts that go into the wheel, not 5 nuts that hold the wheel on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Into the
Fords
hub.
do that a lot.
What does it?
Fords do that a lot.
Oh, well, that's gross. Man,
Yeah,
it's
they're
a
a pain in the ass to freaking line up because it's not like you got a tire, you just throw it up on the
it's not like
studs
you
and
just
then
throw it up on the
But
lugs.
this you got to hold the tire up while you're trying to feed a freaking stud in and hope you don't cross thread it as you're trying to feed it in. Oh, it's a pain in the ass.
I can tell.
I was asking my girlfriend why my kid was still up. She goes, because she gave him a hug and put a fan in his window so he doesn't cook. He goes, I know he's part demon, but he doesn't have to cook. He's still in the devil's waybos.
That's funny.
Yeah, because we have an air conditioner like up here. We have an air conditioner downstairs, but we only have the 2. And we've had his windows open, but I guess she picked up a fan for him. It wasn't too bad until recently. Oh, but that's funny. Devil's Waybos. So, Chris, we need an update on the Ford.
Kind of hiatus at the moment.
The Ford's hiding?
It's there. I mean, the latest thing we did was the tire in the windshield, and it hasn't had anything done since then because I've been running. And when I was home, it was raining. So
I think Wicked
rain
Fab
and
wants to
productive
know.
work doesn't go together.
Yeah.
What is that?
Wicked Fab wants to know what your channel is, Beatus.
I don't know. I think he's.
Is that mine?
What?
I don't think so.
You lost his mic?
Who?
Somebody got a pretty high pitched whistle.
I'll mute.
It's glitchy.
Yeah. Don't know who it's coming from.
I muted mine.
Nope.
Nope. Still there?
Hey, well, would you look at that? It went.
It did go away. Yeah, it
And
went
it's
away
back.
when we muted you. Yep.
Damn it.
His audio's practically dead because I can hardly hear him here.
Yeah, he's really quiet. He probably unplugged his microphone halfway. English. No. I mean, it's working, but it's still, I don't know.
You're talking through the coffee can on the end of the string in the basement. We're trying to hear you in the attic.
I don't hear it on the YouTube stream. I just hear it in the headphones here on the StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You know what?
No, we don't.
It was muted for God knows how long. Remember what I was saying earlier about how I forget to unmute my my sources?
Yeah.
I wonder how long I've been sitting here talking and nobody's been hearing me.
Probably for a while.
That's kind of, oh my God, this has just been horrible. So, nobody in chat could have told me they couldn't hear me for how long?
I guess not.
Unless they could still hear me through the Streamlabs. Like, I should have been able to be still heard through StreamYard, but maybe not very well. But I don't know. I mean, unless nobody really cares to hear me, I mean, that's fine too, but...
Self-destruction.
All right. Alrighty. So how long have you guys not heard me?
Probably since the beginning.
That's
Well, it's only on here on YouTube. There's only a few messages back that they said they couldn't hear you. So
when was that? Oh, when we started talking about the no talking, they said no whistles.
I got you.
I hear Wicked Fab say he hears me, and then NOVAtazz no sound from you on YouTube. So I don't know if it was something I changed just recently or not. Whoa, I almost dropped my beer right on my phone.
That would have been alcohol abuse.
Speaking of, that's a great segue.
Oh dear, here we go.
We'll go to the next segment.
What's in the cup?
What's in the cup? Oh, we'll start with Cletus because he does not on here that often. What you got in the cup?
Just some sugar-free soda.
Oh, that didn't even look like that. That looked like soda-free soda.
Yeah, well, it's empty now.
He's got a cup of air.
Yeah, let me add some more to it.
Fresh air.
All right, Biggie, what you got?
I got the usual good old citrus green tea and my Walmart transportation.
You should scratch that off now. They have offended you.
They didn't offend me. They promoted me to customer.
You were always customer. They just promoted you to
Yeah.
a better life of not working there.
Yeah, for real.
They promoted you to bigger and better things.
Yeah,
You
like
have yet
right
to
now, it's
discover.
unemployment, which is paying me in 1 week what they pay me in 2.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what happens. Do you know what we haven't done?
Drugs.
No, I have a feeling some of us around here have done them already, so that's not quite accurate. Speaking of, anyway, we have not done any loyalty bonuses today. Oh no.
monster.
I know, right?
Well, how can you?
I don't know. But I don't know if people have been chatting, but if they have, they should get a bonus.
Bonus.
So anybody active in chat gets a 1,000-point bonus. That was your cue to type something in chat, but you're too late now.
Hopefully it went through because I need that. I need the points, all right?
You do not. I mean, come on. Anybody wants to type in exclamation point top? Feel free to float to just to make Cletus's head bigger.
Yeah.
So Matt,
Somebody's gonna push me out one day.
Matt MPG is not far behind you. Just letting you know that.
Somebody's gonna push me out one day.
It just takes a couple people donating to the live stream, and you'd be done for.
Yeah.
It doesn't even take much. It's only like $1 or $2, and boom.
Oh man. Oh, he's getting close pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, see, told you. Doesn't take much. It just takes, and the thing is it doesn't take much to knock you off of the your little perch down there on your
little perch.
Yeah, on your little stream boss down there. I mean, you're already slightly knocked off. Somebody's taking a little chip out of you.
I think I did that myself, though.
No, you can't do it to yourself.
Oh.
It's people subscribing. Because when you subscribe, it does chip away at your points lead. Because every time somebody subscribes, it chips away at those points.
Well, now he's going to tell people to not subscribe.
Oh, no, right?
He's going to, further his own self some more.
I like how Streamlabs has gone from its nice little teal color to like the full RGB freaking explosion there in the chat. Because they used to be just that little freaking like tealy like green blue color with the Streamlabs logo, and now it's just like boom, we'll hit you with all the colors.
And now they're just like PC Master Race, RGB or death.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that with this computer. I have it over here just kind of behaving itself. I have the little Knight Rider. I'm not sure how well you can see it back there, but I have the little Knight Rider. My RAM chips are doing the Knight Rider swoosh back and forth. And then the rest
of it is on purpose, or?
Yeah. And then the rest of it is just breathing red. It's called breathing. But the one down the bottom, I think they call it zoom.
Zoom.
But yeah, it just bounces back and forth red. It just reminded me of the Knight Rider. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. But there's supposed to be 2 more. I have to order them, but there's 2 more fans that light up that go back here in the back corner. Right now I have non-lighting ones back there, so you can't really see it. And then what you can see glowing slightly is the front fans are glowing onto the GPU. So you can slightly see the GPU light up, even though there's no lights on it.
Oh, you got to have lights in the computer. It wouldn't be worth anything without them.
Right?
Yeah,
well, the motherboard
right?
lights up, the 3 fans in the front light up, the RAM lights up, and the CPU fan lights up right now. So that's where we're at the moment. I have 2 more light up fans coming, and I actually just ordered a new mouse for gaming. By the way, Big E,
Does that also light up?
The new one, yeah.
Cool.
The new one is a glorious Model O. Apparently, I have done quite a bit of research. It's like $50, but I've done quite a bit of research. Glorious.
Oh.
Sounds like a fancy name for a computer dildo.
Right? But it's what some of the pro gamers are using, and it's not too expensive. I mean, there's more expensive, crazy. There's like mice out there that are like $150.
Oh yeah.
And it's apparently lightweight. It's still corded. So I normally run a cordless mouse, but you know what? I guess I'll deal with a corded one.
You said you do Twitch, right? Stream on Twitch?
I was twitching.
Yeah.
I was twitching.
Right? It's been a while since I've done Twitch, only because I didn't get a whole lot of response out of it. I think I might Twitch when we start doing the 7 Days to Die Alpha 19, which, by the way, comes out tomorrow, Biggie.
Yeah, I know.
And we have to start completely over.
Sad reacts only.
I know, right? Dude, I was so close to having that base, like, just about, like we were starting to do blade traps. And
Yeah.
now I gotta start all over. By the way, we all got really small.
I can't hear. You're gonna have to give me a second.
No, that's fine. Chris,
Android shit.
Chris, what's in the cup, Chris?
Oh, good old-fashioned water.
Really? That cannot be all you have.
Already
You
wiped
have
out
like
the iced tea and the coffee.
I was gonna say you normally have like a cold cooler next to
No,
you.
that's it right now. Just water.
Wow, you're running late today.
Yeah, well, I mean, the refrigerator's back there, but the only thing, yeah, like I said, I've already wiped out the iced tea and the coffee, and the last bottle of vitamin water I had because I've been rolling for the last 7 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm down to plain water.
Uh-oh, we
Till I
lost
stop
Curtis.
again.
Oh no!
They're dropping like flies. All right, so well, there's Jonathan back.
Aha! I can hear now.
All righty, we lost Curtis somewhere. Turn down the volume on the thingy there, Jonathan. We can hear you. Well, we can hear me. But
Well,
anyway, I love hearing myself in my own self ears.
I don't know.
What's in the cup?
Absolutely nothing.
Wow, you sound like you're like really far away, Jonathan.
Huh?
You sound like you're like halfway across the world. Cletus, it was just you.
There might be because there's a good bit of noise in here, probably from the air brakes earlier.
Maybe. I don't know. Either that or you're not using a microphone.
Well, I'm
Probably
not. I'm using my fucking microphone from my phone because I didn't bring a headset with me.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Anybody want to guess what's in the cup? You guys can guess too.
I know what you mean about the Peterbilts. Fucking loud.
Hey. Don't be knocking the Peterbilts.
Well, this one's not that great.
Why not?
It has a big ball hitting. Yeah, I also have a big ball hitting me in the fucking knee.
Well, you should take care of that.
Not that. Fuck.
Better smacking in the knee than your chin.
Hold on.
Oops. Not that. I'm gonna flip the camera on this thing.
Throw it in the air and watch it tumble. It'll do flips all on its own.
True story.
And Cletus is back. Mrs. Formie, you
All right.
are wrong. It
I
is
don't know what
not a
happened
Yingling. We are, by the way, 1,000 points to whoever guesses what I'm drinking today.
It's a beer.
That doesn't, you got to be more specific than that.
Yingling.
It's water based.
Well, I hope it's water-based, maybe. No, it's not Yingling, Jonathan.
Did you already show it? Oh,
It's a nice light, tan,
Little lighter.
amber color.
little lighter than what you usually drink it on.
A little lighter than what I normally drink.
I would say Bud Light, but nobody wants to drink that. So.
I would definitely need a bucket next to me, and it's not because I got too drunk.
Right.
Number one, anything that's a light beer. If it has light in front of it, I'm not drinking it.
So what about Heineken? Is that what you're drinking there?
Nope, it's not a Heineken.
Is it Guinness?
Too light.
That was a really, really stupid question. That was a really stupid
Oh yeah,
answer.
I don't
Guinness
drink
is
beer.
black. I have
That's
yet to
right,
see a
yes.
Guinness that is that light.
Blackbeards matter.
Miss Formula says hard cider.
I'm not accepting that answer. That answer is not correct. That's like saying beer.
Gotta have the official brand name.
Yep, exactly. It's got to be a brand. I mean, it's like saying rum. There's how many different rums out there?
I mean, there's a lot of rums out there, but how many good rums are there?
That's like saying there's how many beers out there, but how many good beers.
Kevin, what beer do
What's
you
your
think
idea of a
Joe's
good
drinking?
beer? Is my idea of good beer.
Okay, well, she went hard cider. I'm gonna say wicked hard cider.
What do you think?
Wicked what?
Wicked hard cider.
No.
No Light, because he's cheap.
Is it
Hey, Kevin said Miller Lite.
Wow.
day late and a dollar short much?
If you ever catch me with a Miller Lite, just shoot me. Because I'm
you're
not
trying to be
me.
like
I
that.
have been abducted by aliens, or I am a zombie. Just double tap
You're
my
trying to be
ass.
like the guys on.
By the way, this is Kevin. I'm riding with him and Peter.
Mrs. Formie got it.
Hey, Kevin.
Angry Orchard.
Makes sense.
To be honest, it is crisp apple because there is different flavors of Angry Orchard, but I will accept Angry Orchard. So Miss Formie gets 1,000 points.
Wait, what were you drinking? I didn't hear.
Here comes
Angry
your
Orchard,
woo-hoo.
crisp apple.
No.
It's a nice light beer for summertime.
A nice light beer for when you're swimming in your own sweat.
Exactly. All right,
That's
so
about right.
that brings Miss Formie up to 7,795.
Sweet Jesus.
Which I don't think that brings her up any higher really in the points. No, not really, because she's well above Pilot. This Pilot's got like almost 4,000, but she's not high enough to hit DIY Misfit Mechanic because that's when you start getting to the people that have donated to the stream. The top 4 have donated to the stream. That's why they are well ahead of everyone else.
Speaking of the stream, there's only one like on there right now. It shows. So
I know. What the hell? Do we not like it? Did we not like the stream today, or what?
What is wrong with you people?
I know we have 5 people up here entertaining you guys. If we're not doing a good job, tell us what you want us to talk about. Let's get talking about something you guys want.
Are you not entertained?
Don't make me come through this YouTube TV screen.
I wouldn't doubt that. You should have seen what Kevin just saw on Facebook.
What? Is it appropriate for the live stream?
Here, Kevin, explain it. So someone rented a U-Haul van for $19.99, swapped out the 6.0 in it, put it in their car, took out the 4.8 in theirs, and put it back in the van and took it back.
nice. I heard people
Did
used to do that with
did they
the
actually
Mustangs. It
notice?
hurts.
Did anybody actually notice?
No.
They're probably like, this doesn't seem to have the balls it used to, and then they find out like,
I need a motor. I need a motor for the Nova, but I don't have it. I don't have another POS engine to drop in because I think they'd notice if a late
If you didn't have an
70s
engine at all.
350 ended up.
Hey,
inside
look,
of the
Long
van.
Nose Pete.
What?
Long Nose Pete.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard of people doing the old Mustangs. It Hertz rental cars back in the 70s. They would rent the car and then swap motors and stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
heard
know
about
people
that.
still did it.
yeah, but you really the Hertz rental car Mustang would have a better motor than somebody's stock motor?
Apparently, they had like the special ones or whatever. Like you could rent. It wasn't a base Mustang you could rent. You could
Oh,
pay
so you
the
mean like
extra
when,
and
when
get
people
like
renting supercars nowadays?
right.
yeah.
Okay. Not like
It was
your average
the
ready-
Moss 302 Mustangs and all that.
Yeah.
There you go. Rent a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and drop a Yugo motor in the back of it when you return.
Swap it out
I mean,
for a Fiat motor.
That's not much different than what I plan on doing with the Nova. I mean, the most beneficial plan would be to find a wrecked Camaro ZL1 or a Cadillac CTS-V, something with an LSA in it.
Yeah.
But second option is finding an old minibus or van or box van or whatever and snagging a 6.0 out of one of those.
I see them Camaros at the auction all the time.
Yeah, they're just expensive.
They're for some money, yeah. And even if you get one that's pretty wrecked or whatever, they still want a bunch of money.
Yeah,
If the engine's any good.
you're not seeing one of them come across the auction block wrecked for less than like 20 grand.
Yeah,
Oh,
unless it's a 6-cylinder, then you can pick
Yeah.
them up
Well,
all day for like $3
I'm
grand.
talking like it needs to be a ZL1 because the regular SSs don't have the LSA in them.
Right. Yeah,
And
no, you're not going
it's
to
the
they're going to be pretty
supercharger.
expensive.
Yeah, it's the supercharger bits that I want.
Oh, you guys want to see the rig we're in?
Sure.
Why not?
Wow.
Look at that. We're up to 5 likes.
That's
Now.
gonna be fucking loud.
It's a Peterbilt. I would
No.
hope it is.
Yeah, like what do you expect?
He has no leg room. He's sitting in the bitch seat.
That's not a bad looking rig.
It's a truck.
Are you in a wash bay?
No, we're getting gas.
Ah,
Oh damn.
How long?
don't put gas in that truck.
How long does it take to fill up? One
Yeah,
of those
for
suckers?
real. Oh my god, that'd be a mistake you would wish you didn't just regret.
I'll go back inside though.
Oh, damn.
Is it a box truck?
No, that looks like a.
Oh.
Let's get rid of this one.
Day cab.
Hey, actually, we could play this game twice. We got a.
No.
What's in the
What's in
truck?
the truck? Ah, there he is. I see the trailer on the back.
We'll have
Looks like
to
a
wait
reefer
for-
trailer.
What's in the truck? He carries produce and stuff and delivers it to Walmart and Sam's Club and shit.
All right, so what's in there? What's on the manifest?
I don't know. I'll have to ask him when he gets back.
As I said, we'll have to wait till he comes back. But we can go
Read
Chris
the
while we're at
paperwork.
it.
Read the paperwork.
Hold on. Where's it at in the paperwork? I don't know. Hold on.
Jonathan's not an experienced trucker here. He hasn't got
That
any
is
sea
true.
legs yet.
No time like the present to break his virginity. After all, he
Yeah.
is in the bitch seat.
He's going to learn something new today.
He's gonna learn
That's right.
today.
Gonna learn today.
Oh, we got 26 pallets. I think.
That makes 13 on each side.
I'm going to say tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yep. Or lettuce. Tomatoes and or lettuce.
Now we just need some bacon and some
No,
bread.
we got some bananas.
Bananas.
ABO husk,
That'll break you
blackberry,
in.
blueberry, raspberry.
I was way off then.
We got some fruits, no vegetables.
Oh, we got 2 stops. I gotta go to the other one here real quick. Because we're going to Glen Burnie and I think Laurel.
Fun.
Did you get to look in the back of the trailer?
Not yet. We will once we hit our first stop.
That's
See,
Because
it.
it has a seal on it when we
See,
first get it.
Chris, he
I'll-
is the back of the trailer.
Ah, fuck you,
Got
Sean.
a point.
Yeah.
See now
None
you can
for
update us
the-
next week when they open the trailer whether they were straight loaded, chimney blocked, or heel to toe.
That's what she
Okay,
said.
well, then we have baking potato, 10 pounds, white peaches, eggs, chicken, watermelon, more eggs. And one of them says 4th of July. I don't know what that
Probably.
You don't want to
4th of July special.
watermelon. You don't want to know what that is.
And then it says cow,
that's the glorious ending.
It's chicken tit with lots of steroids in it so they stay plump on the grill. Throw a little shrimp on the Barbie.
What about your Barbie? Hey, let's look at Kevin real quick.
Why do we want to look at Kevin? Hi, Kevin.
A little slick. Just a little.
What are you guys up? Where
We got some diesel on the
where
ground.
the hell is it slick in the middle of freaking summer?
You got diesel on the ground.
Watch his foot. Do it again, Kevin. Do it again. He's like, where's the slick? I'm like,
All the oil on the fucking parking lot on the concrete.
Oh.
Yeah.
that's real.
Oh, well, that one's empty. Oh, that one's not empty. Okay.
Better watch out on them angry orchards. They'll sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Ours has a nice trifecta in it.
Yeah, this is actually the second
You
day.
let me know
that
when
we've
alcohol sneaks up on me when I drink freaking moonshine all the time.
There you go.
Yeah, yesterday we went to Kaiser, Oakland, and Moorfield.
I need to end up down by where you are, Jonathan. I need to restock.
What?
I said I need to go down by where you're at and go restock. Well, a little further south than where you are.
Well, we're in PA right now. We're in Bedford at the
So you guys are running.
You're at Bedford?
You guys are running
Yeah.
down there by Baltimore and DC, right?
Yeah, it's
Do you want to make your night really exciting?
Uh-oh.
Go drive down the middle of Philly. You'll be really excited.
Oh yeah.
Find some wrappers off a 12-pack of Charmin toilet paper and tape it to the side of the trailer. See how your night develops.
That'd be fun.
Oh my god.
Funny, but fuck.
All right. So
I'll guarantee you it's interesting.
Chris, what do you got going on in the truck tonight?
I have a trifecta. Let's see
Cheese,
how
wine,
good
and
people
condoms?
are.
What'd you say?
All fruit. Not fruit cakes either.
Well, I think we got plenty of those in the live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them's talking.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So fruit, I'm gonna go with apples.
Yep, that one's a given. I always have
Yeah,
apples.
he's always had
Bananas?
apples. No, I wouldn't say bananas.
Hmm.
I'd say pears.
No bananas.
No, we got plenty of those on this truck.
No pears.
No pears?
No pears. One just came in season. They just started picking. We're on the first run of them.
Orange? No, not oranges, because that's not up by you. Up there, up by there.
Avocados.
Nope.
What other fruit?
No, it's a
I don't
fruit.
think asparagus is fruit.
Think of another one that it's
Peaches.
a fruit. It starts with the letter A.
Apricots.
Apricots.
Bingo.
Oh.
I was going to say peaches. Peaches are close to apricots.
Yep, they're close. And the last one's easy, especially for dudes. I mean, think about it. What is the number one fruit that you tried to eat whenever you couldn't get when you was a teenager? And a lot of them get broke on prom night.
Cherries.
Cherry.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's another type of cherry. Wow,
But these
big
things are
cherries.
expensive. I mean, these are like $80 to $100 a case.
Mrs. Formey says the fruit cake's in the driver's seat.
Ooh.
For anybody who doesn't know, Mrs. Formey is Chris's wife. She's allowed to freaking, she's allowed to bust on his
She's
ass.
roasted him like she's his wife.
That's
You're
all
lucky
right.
mine's not up
Well,
here, man. I mean, she has
which
no
truck is she talking-
problems ripping me a new one.
Which truck
She
is she talking about? Is the question.
She don't need to worry about it. Everything's A-okay.
As long as he doesn't break his knees again trying to get out of the truck.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Well, this new stuff I got involved with a couple weeks ago. I've ditched the crutches and the cane, and I'm walking without a limp for the first time in a year and a half.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Just looking at it.
Cletus just got photo bombed again.
Yeah, they were getting some out of the refrigerator.
Yeah, I remember those days. Those days of having to the live stream in the middle of a busy living area.
My house is pretty small, so I don't have.
I ended up using. Well, number one, I ended up changing my computer, like my computer system in here. Instead of it being up against the wall, which is where I would rather have it, the back of my computer is out against the room. It looks horrible when you walk in the room because you just see the back of everything. But for me to be able to set up a camera and all of that and not capture everything going on in the room, I have to set it up this way so that way I have a wall behind me to film against. Before, I used to set up a like a changing screen it's one of those folding screens that that are accordion. And I used to set that up behind me to block off the rest of the room, so that way you didn't see people walking back and forth. But yeah, I've had to definitely had to live stream in areas that were not. I've live streamed on my couch before when I was on Jonathan's channel before.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yeah, I mean, there's things you got to do when you don't have a dedicated space. I'm lucky this house here has an extra room that we can use as an office. Jess has half the office, and I have the other half, so I actually haven't started my desk yet. My desk right now is a 8-foot folding table from Walmart and a 4-foot folding table from Walmart.
Seriously, fucktard?
Fucktard.
And actually,
What's wrong with it, Jedi?
This here is actually the top part of the desk Jess is using that was mine in the old house. I just have it sitting over here because that desk is way too small for this setup.
We got the Christmas tree truck.
Christmas tree
Sean
truck.
will tell you, he loves the fact that he graduated from his corner he used to be stuffed in.
Oh my god, that was horrible. I mean, literally, I was stuffed in like a 6x6 square.
Fun.
If it was that big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that right there is the desk that I used to use. That's my girlfriend's desk now. So
I didn't see it.
I'm now. That's like I said. That's like what 6 foot by 4 foot. And
Hey, now it's time to get weighed.
and
Fuck you.
Hey, Jonathan, what you do in the privacy of that truck is your business.
I need him to get out because he's too much weight.
Two guys, one truck.
Ejectocito, cuz.
They could start a YouTube channel. 2 guys, 1 truck, like he said.
2 guys, 1 truck. That actually wouldn't be a bad name for a YouTube channel, especially if it's just like a trucking vlog. That'd actually be pretty cool.
Sure, you get plenty of video of people cutting you off and jumping out in front of you and stuff.
Getting out, beating their ass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we saw one earlier that cost us about 4 hours back in Illinois. It wasn't a pretty situation.
Though, Chris, I'm actually not stuck in much better of a position right now, at least not until I make my bigger desk. Because this desk is probably about 6 by 8 foot.
So are you going to actually build your desk, or are you going to buy one?
I want to do a live edge epoxy desktop.
Fuck you.
If you know what those are.
I don't, but a live edge, I'm going to assume that it just hangs over.
No, a live edge is where they, when they rip the boards out of a log?
Okay.
Normally they cut the ends off flat. A
Oh, I
live
got you.
edge,
So it's
they
going to
actually
be...
leave the bark on the outside of
I got you.
the board. What you do is you then rip that board straight down the middle and turn the ends into each other so the live edge is in the middle.
And then you put the stuff inside of it to seal it.
And then you fill the whole inside with epoxy.
My wife watches that stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. But I am going to make this one. It'll probably be about 8 by 8 foot. And then probably we'll have like a 3 or 4 foot overhang down to one side. That way I can have my monitors here on this corner and have this whole back area full of stuff. Because I have plenty of room. It's just, that desk is going to be monstrous. And it'll be lit up. I want to do, I kind of want to burn or char the wood. And then the inside do an orange and yellow epoxy. So it'll look like a lava flow.
You can put LED lights in it, or
it.
The ones that don't get hot and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. They can get hot because it's epoxy. It's not going to do anything to it.
Right. Well, you wouldn't want to cloud it or anything. I don't know if it would, but
no, they do it all the time. Just their standard LED lights that we'd use for like doing the computer work and stuff like that, or doing the ones that go around
They're
Yeah.
definitely not going to get too hot, but I didn't know if, like, Christmas lights or something might. But
Yeah.
they wouldn't look that good anyway with Christmas lights.
Oh no. You just use regular RGB strips,
Mhm.
and you can cook them up. You can hook them up to an RGB controller, just like you have.
Yep, fun.
And it can program it to do whatever you want.
Then you can start doing TikTok.
There
People
you
on
go.
TikTok love them strips.
Be right back.
But yeah, I was gonna do that, and then the whole base of the computer will be the desk will be that wrought iron piping.
Mhm.
So
You got a welder and all that,
don't need it.
or are you just going to bolt it?
It's cast iron. You thread it.
Oh, okay, like pipe.
Yeah, it's piping. It's literally cast iron
Yeah.
piping.
Right.
So, and the hardest part is if you need to cut something down to a shorter size than what they come in and having it
Rethreaded.
Rethreaded. That's the bitch. But normally you just kind of make it so that way you're running a 2-length pipe.
You just there's like a metal place there you can order it from.
You can get a lot of that stuff at Home Depot and Lowe's and everything else.
Kevin over here going full send.
You guys are going 55 miles an hour. Don't be saying anything higher than that. You're on live YouTube.
We're going 10.
No, that's hanging 10. That's 10-4.
Yeah, 10-4.
As long as you're not going a 10-100, or is that a 10-200?
10-200's worse. 10-100 will dry out eventually, but 10-200 just
It's a fragrant position to be in.
It's kind
I wish I could figure out how to flip my camera on this freaking thing.
It's kind of like spending the night in a really poor quality motel, with a lumpy bed and slimy sheets.
That's the best hotels.
That's okay. Jonathan takes that hat off for Jonathan takes the hat off for one reason and one reason only.
Yeah. Hey, he's the one that already said something about balling his knee, so yeah.
You tell your buddy you better worry because you took the hat off.
Jonathan, inquiring minds really want to know. Are you in the hard seat, or are you actually riding a cushion of air?
I'm actually on air on this one. The Freightliner we had yesterday didn't have one for the passenger side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hot dog, look at that.
Oh, we caught fucking air yesterday.
He's got clouded hemorrhoids today.
Oof.
Oh my god. The stream hill's going downhill without a freaking Jake brake. Oh.
What are brakes that you speak of?
I don't know. Apparently Cletus doesn't know what they are either.
Right. Not in this truck anyway.
Who needs them?
It's a pretty big surprise.
We'll just do what Send It Steve does and drive, throw it and drive while the freaking engine isn't running and going downhill with no brakes.
There we go.
That wasn't good.
I don't have a big truck like that it could run into though.
Yeah, except for you don't have an F450 at the bottom of the hill to stop you.
Shh.
Oh.
Right about that kind of thing.
Huh?
Then again, I don't think you either. I got a question. We have 2 truck drivers in the stream. Have you ever had to use a runoff lane?
Hey, guys, Kevin wants to know if you guys go to the pickle park much.
Not much. That's your job.
Oh. Got
him.
All right. Have either of the 2 truckers ever had to use a runoff lane?
No.
Hold on, you got to say it again. Kevin didn't hear you.
Have you ever had to use a runoff lane?
Runaway truck ramp.
They don't even know what it is.
No, he hasn't.
He doesn't know what a runoff lane is?
No, he's never had to use one.
Oh.
Lucky him.
I don't know. I've seen them on YouTube. They don't look like they're very fun to use.
Well, I mean, it's probably a lot more fun than plummeting off of whatever's on the other side of it.
Right.
You don't get off the other side of it. Usually they stop you. You're talking about
the ones
3
here in
feet of
Arkansas.
either
They're pretty
gravel or
deep.
dirt.
Howdy, Hank.
Yeah, I was going to say you sink to the frame.
You pretty much
But-
figure your truck's totaled because
Better than going off the edge of the cliff.
You take the oil pan out.
Truck might be totaled, but you're alive.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one.
Trucks.
There is. What made me think of this is they're doing a lot of construction on 81. They're actually getting rid of most of the potholes, at least by Tamaqua and Hazleton, and up by Wilkes-Barre, they're also doing the same thing. But I took an alternate route home that dropped me off in Nesquehoning out here in PA, and going down, I forget what road that is.
That one.
I think it's 15.
11:15.
I don't know. It goes from Hazleton, and it drops you off all the way in the backside of Nesquehoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all big, steep downhill and very twisty. And I was thinking, they said, runoff in 2 miles, runoff in 1 mile, and the whole way down, if you let go and you're just coasting, you'll be doing 70, 80, no problem in a car.
Mm-hmm.
And
80,000 pounds.
it's
You're
all twisty. I'm like, if you have no brakes, how the hell are you getting a truck to go down this hill without going through the guardrails before you get to the runoff lane? There's
I
no
guess
way.
your exhaust or engine brakes.
But yeah, I was thinking, there's no way you're going to stop that truck and keep the speed down low enough to not go off of one of these corners before you ever get to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and granted, the runoff is right before you get down to Nesquehoning, before it tees into 209. It's like, the last quarter mile before you get to 209 is where the runoff is. But you still got to come down the whole damn mountain.
Yeah, hopefully you would, know your brakes are getting hot and about to overheat before they actually overheat. Give you a little time to plan. But
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Standard rule of thumb, whatever gear you pull the mountain in, when you hit the top, you drop 2 to go down the other side.
Right.
But say like a Swift driver or something, they'd be having some trouble.
I definitely think that you would be panicking coming down that freaking hill before you made it to that runoff lane. You'd be definitely up on that wheel trying to freaking keep that thing from going over the guardrail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's been a lot of them on 68, like the past couple months, that have freaking overturned and shit.
We've had a few
just
on 81.
From the wind or going too fast?
We've had a few on 81. A lot of it's just people cutting people off and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was coming up 81 and we were approaching a 2-into-1 lane for construction, and I had a tractor trailer to my right, and I started backing up to create that space for that tractor trailer to come over because I knew that second lane was ending. Fucking some dumbass comes up from behind me and scoots into that spot that I was making for the freaking tractor trailer right before the tractor trailer was ready to move over. That's okay. The tractor trailer moved over anyway. He didn't care. And I was like, fuck yeah, you run that motherfucker over. Because it was a
I guess he ran on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah. The other car ended up on the freaking shoulder because he had nowhere else to go. Which, you know what? I don't really care. I didn't make that spot for you. I made it for the truck driver that needed a spot to get in. Because, a car can make a spot. A tractor trailer, you need somebody to help make you a spot.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to make your own spot.
This is why I don't like coming in here, because it's a bitch getting in and out. Yeah, that's why I don't like coming here.
So,
Kind of just,
I can't believe people sometimes. I mean, I know there's some truck drivers that are assholes on the road. I've been cut off by them, but when there's a bunch of assholes in cars too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome aboard, Hank. I think I said something while everybody else was talking. I don't know if you heard me. We had Hank the Mean Man jump in the town. I think I've seen him in here before.
Yeah, he's been in here when I've been in here. So.
Yeah, I think I've seen that name before. So, I mean, he's not a regular chatter per se, but I definitely seen him pop in here once in a while.
Yep.
Oh, is it almost 11 yet? No,
Just
we got another 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes, and we'll be giving away another, what?
I don't know if you guys can see that.
State
It finally has came through.
Are you now a popo?
No, below that.
What? I can't see that below that.
Used motor vehicle dealer's license.
Oh.
Oh, there
okay.
you go.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah, I
have dealer
talked about it
plates
on
the
the
whole
channel
time.
before, but
You
I
need
haven't
that
put
so
it
that
on my
way when
channel
you,
yet.
you need that so that way when you restore when you fix the cars you buy at auction that you can turn around and sell them, right?
Yep. Now I'm selling cars. That's my main job. So uh, I've been waiting on it for a while. I've got everything, that everything's set out, and I even talked about it on this channel, but I haven't on mine yet because I was waiting on everything. So now I'm going to do a video on opening the dealership. So, but yeah, it's all official now.
That's what Old Car Auto Guy does, and
Mhm.
it's what Send It Steve did before he started his YouTube channel.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what got him
I've
his
watched
start.
the old car auto out of Canada there.
Yep. Send It Steve is a used car. VCore, I think is his name. He's another Copart auto restorer / salesman.
We'll be right back.
He does the same thing. He pulls cars out of Copart in different places, restores them, and sells them.
And lock your door.
And there's some good money in that. I mean, if I could get if I had a stable place to work, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I don't have a stable garage where I feel comfortable pulling a car apart, fixing it. And the other thing you kind of need to do, depending on what kind of cars you pull out, you need to have somebody with an auto body. You need a friend with an auto body shop.
Well, I'm trying not to buy the ones, and especially after working on this truck, and it's just been a pain. I'm going to try to buy ones that don't need much work. Small stuff.
Right.
So I can flip them quicker.
Yeah. But I mean, like a lot of the
This
ones
truck
that
right here,
when they come
Food
back,
Squad
Sean.
and them do, they buy wrecked ones that have body damage. Because normally there's not a whole lot of mechanically wrong with them.
Mhm.
You're just normally fixing whatever was broken in the accident, so, control arms, shit like that.
Yeah.
And then throwing them back together.
New bumper, whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of body work anymore isn't, I mean, other than pulling parts, because you normally pull them to get them back close to where they're supposed to be, but a lot of it anymore is just drilling out the spot welds and completely replacing parts. You don't do a whole lot of the hammer and dolly and stuff like that anymore.
Right. Well, I did a Nissan Altima the other day. It's an 08 model.
Yeah.
And she had rear-ended somebody and broke the radiator and all that. Everything just bolted off and bolted right back on.
Yep.
So it was there's no drilling or anything. I mean, it was just throwing new parts on.
Yeah.
Nice.
It
didn't do any frame damage or anything. So
a lot of it is like that anymore. These cars are so modular anymore. You either unbolt them or drill out the spot welds and buy a whole new parts and put them back in. No more freaking pulling and freaking fixing anymore. Like in my Nova, if I were to wreck a section, you'd end up pulling and freaking hammering and they weren't as easy to pull apart.
Definitely not. But they weren't like the new ones. The new ones are made to crush, to absorb the impact, so you don't feel it.
So they also
if you barely hit something, it comes apart.
Right. Where the new ones are designed. They know they're going to get hit and crunched, so they design them to be able to be modular to take apart too.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine didn't crush; it melted.
Melted.
It's not melted. It was just toasted.
Your
What, you
truck
have
got
a
a little
aluminum
bit of
F-150?
ED. That's
I
all.
didn't toast it. I got
His truck had a little bit of ED.
actual flame.
Mm.
His truck needs a
total
little bit of
bill came in
Viagra.
just short of 16,000. Now the truck's totaled. I'm talking about the Mitsubishi.
Oh.
It melted,
so shitty, huh?
and its repair bill. It came in just short of 16,000. All said.
Oof.
Oh.
I don't know why they didn't just total the damn thing.
I don't know if you
they
guys noticed.
Been easier.
Pilot commented in the very beginning of the stream about the vet. Since we're all waiting for we all waited for the vet update all the time.
Yeah.
It's still sitting in his buddy's garage with no motor in it.
Why do
I'm pretty sure the dude lost interest at this point.
Hey, send it, Steve. He's going to sell his Monster Vet or whatever for like $700.
He's been wanting to sell that, the freaking the Civic. See, the way that Send It Steve works is all of those things are assets, whether he's using them to make money or he uses them to sell them. It's all money. He doesn't have any attachment to any of those vehicles. So somebody throws him a good enough price, it's gone. If he can make more money selling it than he can making videos of it, then it's gone.
Well, if he didn't have the rust issues, we don't mess with rust down here in Arkansas. So if he didn't have the rust issues up there, I might be interested in it, but I can't do
Well,
the rust.
the Corvette, the thing is that blue Corvette.
Yeah.
The parts that are rusted on that truck, because it's technically a truck, you don't want that frame. The only thing you're selling that for is the Corvette body.
The fiberglass.
He's already said in his live stream, in his videos, do not use this frame if I sell it to you.
I guess I haven't seen that one.
No, because that frame is not only is it rusted, but the frame itself is so cobbled together that I'm sure the first time you took that thing anywhere near what you would use a big mud truck for, it would fall in on itself.
Probably.
The frame is useless, and not to mention it's the wrong frame for that car. It's not the right, it's not the right wheelbase and everything for that car.
Right.
No, and his plan was originally to find a Tahoe or something. That's what he originally bought. The Tahoe that he's rebuilding now, he actually originally bought to throw under the Corvette, and then he found that the Tahoe was too nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Tahoe. I like that body style too.
So he's like, I'm not pulling this apart. I'm going to build it as it is.
Yeah.
And he'll make more money building it as it is than he will be throwing it under the Corvette.
Well, and I think he'll probably get more views out of the Tahoe as well because it's more practical. More people are going to want to watch it because.
And we've already seen
some of the other ones crazy too.
Car.
Yeah, he did the Honda Civic, which if he could do that, he could do whatever.
Yeah.
He could do a Corvette.
And the Civic has run its course. The Corvette's not going to do any better.
No.
The Civic was cooler, in my opinion, than the Monster Corvette.
I think so.
It was pretty neat seeing that little tiny car sitting that high up in the air.
Did you see his avalanche video where the front diff just rolls down the hill?
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Broken his front diff in the avalanche when he's mudding.
Oh, when he went up the hill and
rolled down the hill. Yep.
Oh my god, that's brutal.
That was right after he tried to make it out to the island.
Yeah, that was my first video of his to watch, and I was like,
"Oh, you missed it.
That's after you told me about him."
You gotta go back. He has a lot newer videos way back when.
I've been going back. We've been doing a lot of sitting, staying at the house besides working on the cars and stuff.
I have watched Send It Steve.
Videos.
I have been subscribed to Send It Steve since his very first video.
Oh wow.
I found Send It Steve through Mike from Street Speed 717 because the Corvette that he had, the orange one, which I do believe he sold that to Mike originally when it was silver. Mike then wrapped it in that like chameleon paint wrap, brought it out to Cecil County, did some other mods to it, and then sold it back to Steve. And then Steve promptly wrecked it, ripped the whole passenger side of it up, replaced the whole side of it, painted it like freaking, I don't know, it's a bright orange, stuck a a C6 front end on it, and some other stuff, and then because it was a C5, and threw C6 stuff on it. Brought it to the car show out here in Harrisburg, the big car show out in Harrisburg. In fact, actually where I met Nick from Nikolai. I met him out there, and I actually met him at that car show because I was there with the old YouTube pack crew that I belonged to back then. And I was out there supporting them and all that. And that's when he just debuted that car. That was a really nice build. He ended up twin turboing that car with Huron turbos.
Damn.
And that car was quick.
Single or dual?
Huh?
Twins.
Single. Did twins, all right.
Yeah, twins underneath. So they were down underneath by the oil pan. And that car was quick. But it was twin turboed 6.0 liter.
Oh, damn.
It was a twin turbo iron block 6.0.
Oh, that iron block's going to be able to take all that boost, that's for certain.
Yeah, but he kept blowing it. He kept blowing other stuff up on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the weakest link.
So I mean, I think he blew the transmission up twice. Some other stuff, and he ended up getting rid of that because it kept costing him more money than he was making off of the YouTube videos. So, but yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of cool things, and he's so like exactly as you see him on that show is how he is in person. Like he does not have like a YouTube persona. His persona is exactly how he portrays it. We can't hear you, Cletus.
Dynamite.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can tell when I can hear you because your little light on the end of your mic close.
Yeah, I tried to turn it off, but I guess it mutes the mic when I do that.
I'll be right back again.
Bye-bye.
But no, I was saying I don't know if you guys ever watch Hoovie's Garage or anything like that, but that stuff they just got too much money.
I'm not really like I followed Street Speed since he had the second Corvette, because he went from a Corvette to a Hellcat and then back to the Corvette. It was the second Corvette that he had. He wrapped it in some like artistic styled rainbow colored wrap. It was like a bunch of paint swooshes. And he took it to Corvettes of Carlisle, and some old guy literally ripped him apart for doing that. How could you do that to a Corvette? And it's only a fucking wrap. It comes off. It was,
Right.
But that was the video that I found him on. And he'd only had it up for maybe 3 weeks by when I found it. So it was like 3 weeks old at that point when I found that video. And I've been watching Mike ever since. I mean,
Nice.
he does a lot of clickbaity stuff, and he went from, I mean, like, at the time he had that, it wasn't like a special C7 Corvette. It wasn't the base, because his original one was a base. It was a Stingray. His original one was a Stingray. His second one was a Z06. But he didn't have, like, super ginormous amount of subscribers when I started following him.
Kind of hard to
He
handle.
was still living in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment with a garage below it. That I think was like right down the street from his mom's house. Definitely not where he lives now. I think this is his second house he's been through since I met him. I mean, since I've met him too, but since I've followed him. He's moved twice. Once to a friend of his old house that he bought and then flipped and resold, and then now he's in his own like high-end house.
So do you ever do videos with these guys or anything?
I've done the Cecil County stuff. I've had I've had them all. I've had Qatar-Mageddon ZL1 in my videos. I have pictures of Qatar-Mageddon ZL1 with my kid.
I'm not doing
Because they're not that far from me, but they're far enough away that I can't necessarily do videos with them all the time. And
Sure.
It's kind of hard to do videos with them when the only car I have is a Kia Soul.
Right. They're not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't really go off road with it. Can't really race
Come on
it.
now.
This
come
car
on.
over here is not on the road. My Nova's not on the road. My Nova's is two half cars right now. And my truck
it makes
is
it really
has
interesting
been down with
content
transmission
pushing them
problems.
across a parking lot.
I was just
Right?
take my stuff up here.
But my truck has been down with transmission issues for like 2.5 years. I just haven't fixed them.
A Dodge with transmission issues.
I know, right? Well, it started out with a leaky front seal,
Mm-hmm.
and then we fixed the front seal, got it back up and running, and then not long after that, we had it up running for maybe a month, and then it started having no power in any gears. Just every clutch was slipping. So we pulled it apart. We couldn't figure out what it was for like 2 years. I didn't have a shit ton of money to drop into it. We had other cars. It was on the back burner. We finally found out that it was in the valve body. I'm pretty sure it was the power valve was when it was low on oil from the front seal. I think the power valve scored and was getting stuck, and so it was getting stuck open and dumping. It was never able to build any fluid pressure. But finally figured it out by doing a complete valve body shift kit from B&M.
Right.
Did a complete shift kit from B&M, replaced all of the solenoids, and I rehoned all of the valves. So all of the valve in the valve body, I rehoned all of the bores for them, and I cleaned up all of the valves themselves.
Oh wow!
And
And
put it
is
back
that
together. In
is
fact,
broken again?
that video is still sitting on my computer. It has not gone live up on YouTube yet.
Sound like you got a couple of videos to get up.
Yeah, it's one big video, I think.
Ah.
Maybe two, but it's just a shift kit rebuild. I've got so much, and that's probably part of another thing that's had me down is just I've done so much truck content that I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this truck has been nothing on my YouTube for the last 2 years. I've had some
Yeah.
transmission, some Trans Am stuff in there, thrown in there, but what I really want to do is,
are you even doing anything real big on the truck? It's all
I mean, yeah, I want to do a lift kit. I want to do, you know, I want
maintenance,
it,
right?
I want it to be freaking sweet.
Yeah.
But there's no point in dumping money into it if I don't have it on the road.
Right.
I mean, I have, you know who InShane Designs is?
Mm-mm.
Another Send It Steve, Tarmageddon ZL1, Street Speed 717. It's part of their crew. He's a vinyl wrap guy, and I'm not wearing one of his shirts today, but they do vehicle giveaways like every couple of months. Right now, they're giving away a 2015 Dodge Viper.
Nice.
Do you
But I
have their
have-
contact information, Sean?
Who?
For InShane, the design company.
InShane.com.
InShane, all right.
It's where you can find them. I'll send you something in the link in on Facebook here in a little bit. But I have sitting over here, I have their tattered flag vinyl for the tailgate for my truck. It's been sitting over here for, well, geez, I was still living in Auburn when I bought that. That was, I probably had it for over a year. Because I bought that for the original Corvette giveaway they did for the black Stingray that they wrapped in teal, they did a wide body kit on. That was one of the things that I had bought to enter that contest. It's still sitting over there because there's no point in me putting that on until I know that I'm putting the truck back on the road.
Right.
You know, why put it on there and then get rid of the truck?
Hey, Sean.
What?
Yeah, I thought I'd wear the appropriate shirt for Sunday.
Are you actually wearing one of my shirts? Oh, there it is. I see it. There's a good segue. If you guys have not checked out my Teespring account, you can check it out. I'm sure there is a Streamlabs link somewhere in the chat. Let's see. Oh, here. We can just put it right up here. There you go. But yeah, I do have my own Teespring link count. I have some pretty cool shirts. You also have my other cool shirt, the let's settle this like adults shirt. It's actually one of my favorite ones. It's a drag racing tree, and then it says, "Let's settle this like adults." In other words, take it to the track.
Yeah, I have that one too.
Yeah, I like that one. Then I have the one that you're going to see up on the YouTube screen right here. I have this one. And I have a few other ones, like the one that you have there. The back on that one's nicer. The front one's just a lapel logo. And the back should have the full-size logo on the back, right? I forget which one that one is. That's the one with the full-size Trans Am on the back of it, right?
Which one? The one I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have it so the full-size logo was right here on the front, and then I switched it to it just having a pocket logo and the full-size logo on the back. A lot of my shirts now have that. But, yeah, I do all my own designs. I actually did them right here on this computer that I'm staring at right now.
So when you go through Teespring, they just take a portion of it, I guess.
Yeah, they take the item of what it costs to make it.
Oh, nice.
So like, I think it's like anywhere from $7 to $15 per T-shirt that it costs them.
Depending on how much design you have
Yeah,
on it.
like I do full color front and back, so my shirts cost like $15 some per shirt. You know,
Yeah.
before I get anything.
Right. And before shipping and all that other stuff. So.
Yeah, right. Because like I said, I do full color front and back. If I just did one, either front or back, it would cost like less than $10. But
Where'd you say we were going today?
but yeah, I do full color, and like I said, you do your own design work, and then you upload your design to Teespring. So all of the artwork that is on all of my shirts is hand done by me, which I had to self teach myself as well. It's like I have artistic ability. I can draw on pen and paper. I've never had to draw on a computer before. So,
Well, the touchscreens go a long way for that.
well, I don't have a touchscreen. I did end up buying, like towards the end, I have a Huion tablet, drawing tablet, but it's not a touchscreen. It's just a big touch sensitive tablet, but there's no screen on it. So it's kind of like drawing on your art easel or your art palette.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like drawing on your art palette, and it's showing up on the canvas.
Maybe put you off a little bit there.
It does. I think I want to save up and try to get ones with a built-in screen. But they're like,
you buy a touchscreen laptop, that's folds all the way over and everything, pretty cheap.
right?
Now,
But
I don't know.
they're not the same. If you've ever tried drawing on one of those, it's not. The DPI isn't the same.
Right.
That's like using a regular mouse for gaming. If you're a gamer,
It worked, but not great.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna pull off masterpieces with it.
Yeah, I can't draw for anything, so.
Well, I don't actually. Well, besides the one that Jonathan's wearing right now, I don't have any of my artwork just laying around. Well, there's this. This is my art.
Oh, I could do some metal work. Yeah.
No, it's
cool.
not metal. This is actually that stuff that you find in the bottom of your dressers. This is what they call hardboard.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, Dremels do not like this.
Just tears it up.
Oh, you know those drill bits that you can go sideways in?
Yeah.
It chewed through 4 of them to do that.
Oh.
It ate them for breakfast. That stuff.
There's got to be a better way to cut it.
There's a reason why they call that stuff hardboard.
Yeah.
It is very dense, very hard. It's like super compressed cardboard.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff you can find on my Facebook and Instagram. You can see some of my artwork. Like I said, I don't have anything particularly handy. Even though this is a photo behind me, can't really fucking see it. I did design that whole photo. I edited it completely. The only thing I did was send it to InChain Designs for them to print it out. So, it's just different stuff. Like I said, every single logo you see on my Instagram, on my YouTube, everything is, all the artwork is mine.
Nice.
Including
John.
the thumbnail for this video. What?
So guess what?
Chicken butt?
No. So 2 things happened recently.
You got a job, and you decided to cross the United States in a truck with your buddy.
Okay, 3 of that. But not the job one. That one I'm still trying to fucking work on. Jesus fuck.
You lost your virginity.
Shut up,
He
Kevin.
didn't say the word lavender, did he?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Now, one thing is, a deer decided to hit my car.
I saw that. Just because I don't comment doesn't mean I don't see.
Well, I don't know that. The other one
Well,
is
obviously. I'm not very good at commenting on people's stuff. Huh?
Another one.
You bought another car? I didn't see
Might
you
have
buy
bought
another
another
car.
Well, yeah, because I haven't posted it yet. I'm waiting to actually film the video on it.
I was gonna say because you could have easily fixed that. I mean, that was a fender. You could have easily found another fender.
Well, no. I'm still keeping the fucking Suzuki. It still runs.
Yeah, just replace the fender.
I ain't worried about it.
Junkyard find.
But now I bought a project car.
I thought the Suzuki was a project car.
No, that's the beater car.
No,
Well, it definitely got beat. It got whipped with an ugly stick.
What?
I said it got whipped by an ugly stick. Oh no.
I was
So
thinking
the
about maybe
project
telling
car's
you what it was, but now I guess you'll just have to wait for the video.
I has a problem.
Huh?
I has a problem.
You shut your lips.
I've gone dry.
I did not.
I have apparently
wants
gone
one.
dry. It is dry here in PA.
Huh?
I said it's dry here in PA.
Oh, it's dry here in this portion of PA, too.
Well, I would hope so. You guys are both driving. This is what I meant by being dry.
He's just driving.
It's dry in Ohio.
Well, again, you're driving too. I hope you're dry.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so dry I look like dehydrated cardboard.
Cletus looks like he's about ready to fall into his keyboard.
All right, well, I'm going to hop off here because I can barely hear you guys as it is. This Peterbilt's too fucking loud.
Oh,
Said
excuses,
nobody-
excuses.
Said nobody ever.
Well,
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
shit.
the fucking noise on the inside.
That's you talking.
See, what are you whining about?
I can hear him fine.
So are you a dill or are you the jerkin?
What?
Y'all stop back. Y'all stop back at the pickle park. So we just kind of wondered, Tom. You know, we're breaking in your truck in Virginia. We just wanted to know where you ended up.
Is
Over
it
the
Dylan
guardrail, over
Goshen,
the
or
barrel.
are you kosher?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, he's chewing on it still. Holy shit!
I'm sorry, Jonathan. You know you walked into that.
Fuckers can
We
watch the
had
ceiling of the
to.
Peter.
Or should I say he slid right into that?
Probably both.
Or dashboard, wherever the phone goes.
Person didn't know about it. You think they were hauling a cattle wagon because he's chewing like a heifer. He's still got the cut in his mouth.
Fuck you, Chris.
Hold on, we got a kid present. We can't be too loud. I don't know if he can hear us. Curtis, he can't hear us, can he?
No.
Okay.
He wouldn't.
This show is not. I do not market this show as being kid friendly at any point.
Oh,
You froze. No, that is kind of one of the good things, because otherwise I would have gotten sucked up in that freaking whole freaking mess at the beginning of last year, beginning of this year, with the whole freaking kid content crap. Did that affect you at all?
What's that?
That whole BS where they were starting, where you had to, did you get any videos taken down for potentially having kid content on them?
No, I haven't, and I have a couple of videos with my kids in it. So
yeah, I had videos flagged as made for kids that had nothing to do with kids.
Well,
I was like, they did not
and
watch that video very well, now did they?
Yeah, they're cracking down on it, I guess. But no, I haven't in any of that.
Yeah, I just mark all my videos not marked for kids. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because I don't make
you put it
videos
where
for
they can't watch it at all.
No,
I
it'll
know
still
I
make
put
it
it
so
where
they
it's
can
not
watch
made
it.
for kids.
But what happens is if you mark any of your videos made for kids, you can't collect ad revenue on them, and you can't have comments in them. So, like I said, at that point, what's the point of making videos? If you have no interaction with the fans that you're making them for, and you're not getting any reimbursement for, in ad revenue for making them, what's the point of making them? You
Yeah,
know, 'cause
that's
either you're,
Case
you're
must
doing it
run
for the
reruns of
communication with you
Nickelodeon.
guys out there in the chat world, which my chat has been dead for quite a while. Yeah, and it's actually time to do a loyalty bonus. So I don't know if anybody's getting this one because nobody's been chit chatting.
Fucking Steve. What up, Bacon?
We'll do 1,000 for anybody that happens to have been chit chatting.
That's fucked.
That's actually one of the benefits and perks for chit chatting in the live stream. Ha ha ha! You're cheating. Is that if you are you actually gain points just by talking in the chat, even without me adding bonuses, because it constantly any active members accrue points every couple of minutes, which is normally why Mrs. Formie is at the top of the list. Yeah, Miss Formie is now at 78.25. So
Moving up.
it's nothing compared to your 27,300.
No. Well,
And my ADD's kicking in. I'm playing with the bottle caps for my beers. Oh. Anywho, how long have we been on here for? Because we got to subtract the first 22 minutes because that doesn't count. We weren't streaming apparently. Having our own little private conversation. By the way, how do you guys like the new background? Should I go back to the old one? Or should I stick with this one? Can't look at the StreamYard because the StreamYard has no background.
Right. No, it looks good.
Because, let's see, if I got rid of this one, the old one is actually right there.
Here
It's still
comes
there.
Glitchy.
Can you see
All right,
it?
well, I'll catch you guys later.
See you there.
All right then.
So this was the old one.
Damn.
I did make this screen bigger when I made when I put the new one in, because obviously I wasn't trying to show off the garage anymore. But this is actually the one that I used when I first started using Streamlabs, until my computer decided it couldn't handle it.
Whole lot of people jealous with that garage fixture.
I know, right? But the problem is for me to have for me to have that as one of the main parts of the screen, I had to make us really small.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, this is.
Sean, where's your shop at? That thing's cool.
I wish that was my shop. Damn it!
What?
Right.
It's just a picture.
It's just a stock image off of Google.
You could do more videos then for sure, huh?
Oh fuck yeah! I'd like to have that Chevelle that was sitting in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like my computer could not render the background. This moving background, it couldn't do it.
Right. It frees up, I guess.
Yeah, it just started. The frame rate would be freaking horrible.
Pigger. Oink, oink, oink.
So yeah, I actually can go back and do some other ones now. I'm also possibly thinking about going back to the individual windows, but the problem with doing it that way is knowing ahead of time. Like this way, I don't have to know who's going to be in the live stream. If I do it the other way, where I had individual windows for everybody that's coming on, I kind of have to have, I have to have a constant group of people always here.
Right. It has to be the same amount of number.
Yeah,
whatever.
because I have to drop their camera link into the live stream before it starts. So I could link your actual webcam directly into my live stream without using this StreamYard. But like I said, I have to have like basically the address of your video feed, which it would just be a web address, but I'd have to have it to be able to import it into the Streamlabs. But I haven't had a dedicated group of besides Chevy. Besides Chris and Big E, I haven't had a dedicated group of people. When I first started this live stream, I had like the same 4 or 5 people every week, guaranteed. It would have been Jason from Old Car Auto Guy. I had Matt MPG. I had normally Joe would drop in like towards the end. I'd have Big E and I'd have Chris. I think that was about it. I think I maybe had one or two more people, but I had a dedicated group of people that would always go up every week.
They just can't do it anymore or something?
Oh, well, like Jason, he normally would show up for like the first half hour. But then it would be because he goes to bed early.
Yeah, he's an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, he's an hour ahead of us, and he also has to get up. He also gets up first thing in the morning for the car lot.
Is Pennsylvania still Central Time?
No, we're Eastern.
Eastern.
But where he's at in Canada, he's a little further east than Eastern Time Zone.
I got you.
So like our 9 o'clock is his 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think
2
he's
hours
on
in front of me then.
Nova Scotia time, isn't he?
Yeah,
Time zone.
something like that.
Wow.
He's way up in the upper corner. And even me, I've streamed here until 1 o'clock in the morning. I will stream here as long as the chat is going, or as long as we are going up here.
Sure.
I like 3-hour streams. Yeah. I like a 3-hour stream. Because that lets the most amount of people to drop in at some point in time.
Sure.
I don't expect the people to stay and hang out. Like the way that worked before is all of those guys weren't normally always on at the same time. I was here the whole 3 hours, obviously. But Jason would be here for a little while. By the time Jason got off, Big E would pop in. Chris would normally be on the whole time. I think at that point, though, Chris, I think you were joining in like a half hour, 45 minutes after we started. I think at the very beginning.
Yes. Especially now with the new thing going on. And in the beginning I did, yeah.
But like I said, so I had my like first hour people, my second hour people that would carry me on until the end of the stream. The same with the people.
Subject to serviceability.
Yeah, and the same with the people in the live stream in the chat. I would have people that would pop in at the first half of the chat, and I would have people that would pop in the second. I'd have some people that would hang out the whole time. But like I said, I would reach the most amount of people, and we would have. At one point, we had 20, 30, 40 people join the live stream within that 3 hours.
Nice.
I haven't had that much recently.
Right.
And some of
Has it always been on Sunday?
Always has been on Sunday. I've always done 9 o'clock start times. Now the problem is what happened is okay. So I used to have like Joey 66.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his name, Joey 66. He has that Dodge Challenger. He used to be on my live stream and joined in my chat and everything. And then he started doing his own live stream about the same time I was doing mine. I had a couple other people like that. I used to have Hammer Down Motorsports. Another local guy used to come and hang out in the chat room all the time. He hasn't been in here for probably like a year. Now, I don't know if I just got boring or what have you. I don't know. Maybe just difference in lifestyle. Shit changed. It doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Now, some of it was YouTube. When YouTube got rid of Google Hangouts and we found out that the other computer softwares did not work well with this laptop. There was a couple weeks where I went down, actually a while that I went down, where even when I was up, the live streams were so bad that you could barely watch them because I had so much frame lossage that it would just freeze up. I was really looking forward to this year because built this thing. I built the first phase of this thing. You know, where it was strong enough to do the live streams and, you know, whatever, play some gaming or whatever. It was good enough for that. And got that all built together, and then COVID hit. And, you know, all that shit. And I was just ready to start getting back out to the garage and start working on the vehicles. And because, I mean, even though I have a garage, where I'm at, it's not heated. And it's also up a hill that's probably like 30, 40 feet up, like up a hill.
Right. So you're not going to get something up there that doesn't run.
Well, that and all my vehicles that my Nova isn't there. My Nova is on the other side of the little mountain there, in a yard. But my Trans Am and my truck are there. But the problem is I also have to get up that driveway. So, and it's not like it's like an asphalt driveway. It's just a stone driveway. It's not fun to get up when the weather's bad. But
how is the weather there right now?
Dark.
Oh yeah, it's been stupid hot here.
It's been quite hot here. Let me see if I can find something that tells me exactly what the weather is here right now.
Well, I know you were saying you couldn't have your AC going. There's no way I could go here with no AC.
It is 81 degrees right now.
Oh, nice.
Outside.
Yeah, nice.
Inside, I have no idea what temperature it is right now. Yeah, 81 degrees. Doesn't tell me what the humidity is. Humidity is 85%. So, freaking muggy as fuck.
Yeah, it's actually dropped in temperature here. I guess because the rain storm we just had, but we're at 77 degrees, humidity 100%. So
yeah, so you might as well feel about the same.
Yeah.
Now why? The one on my laptop
Blaming on the race farmers
updates
for their ponds.
later. Yeah, my AC would be on if I wasn't live streaming. But with the AC being right here, like you guys would hate me. Though my computer's not running too hot. It's nice and cool because I don't even hear it.
Have you seen the ductless ACs?
No.
They work pretty well. They're quiet.
What is that one?
It's the units outside, and a lot of people are going to it for their whole house because you put it in each room. You could link them all together like on a Wi-Fi system,
Right.
or you could just have each room be separate and set the temperature for that room.
Oh well, we don't own this house, so we rent it. So
yeah, no,
window units it is. It's not central air. It's got baseboard oil heat. So
see, that's a big difference between that and Arkansas because Arkansas is the other way. You can get a house with no heat before you get a house with no AC.
All right. Well, we get it both. Most places have AC, but the older places don't.
Right.
So the older places, it's you stick your own AC in the window.
I get it.
So like, there's an AC. It's like a post that comes out of the window and then comes back to the house as a brace for the AC units. There's one in this window and there's one in that window over there in the bedroom, up on the second floor, already made for AC. So
nice.
This one's actually a nice one. It's an Arctic King.
Never heard of that.
Oh no. But it hooks up Wi-Fi to our phones. If our Wi-Fi would have a dual channel, like our Wi-Fi is hybrid. It runs a 2.5 and a 5 gigahertz at the same time, or 2.4 and 5 gigahertz at the same time, and it automatically will switch back and forth between them. Well, because it does that, this AC unit, which is only a 2.5,
right,
can't find it.
It loses connection.
It just won't find it.
It won't find it at all.
It won't find it at all because it's a hybrid connection.
You could put a Wi-Fi extender thing in there.
I could, but I'm not really that worried about it. We just come up
I'd
here.
say that would dumb it down. But then again, it's just an AC, so.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing it would be able to do is let us turn it on before we get home. But it's normally the one up here is normally on just a temperature setting, so it turns itself on and off whenever it wants to, unless I shut it off. But I see Pilot still hanging in here. He actually commented a while ago. I just didn't mention it.
Yeah, it says his AC is still on.
Yeah, like I said, my AC would be on, except for I am suffering for your guys' noise comfort.
Well, I'm sure we appreciate that.
Then again, I'm used to it because like my Nova, no AC.
Oh no!
You rolled down the windows. That's how you cooled down in that car.
I can't remember. My first car was a Chevy Nova, and I can't remember it had AC. I don't think it did.
Well, those cars did come with it. Mine did not. Mine has the vents in the floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
which
Mine was from
cow
Pennsylvania,
induction
so I had
vent. So it
fifth
comes in
before,
from
too.
the cow, comes down around, and then comes out the floorboard. Now the TA originally had AC in it. It did not have AC in it when I got it. The whole pump and everything. The only thing that was in the car was the suitcase, which is the part that attaches to the firewall. Everything from that forward is gone. So all of the piping and all of the compressor itself was all gone. Not that I would put a stock one back in it.
Well, you could put a newer one in it now.
Yeah, but
Run a new condenser and all that.
you realize, I mean, Chris can
Compressor.
tell you that right now how hard it is to find the AC brackets for the Pontiac 400s.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're not easy to find.
They're not easy to make either, I'd guess.
First off, you also have to find a compressor for one.
Could you not? Well, I guess I'm just thinking putting
If
a
I were
new
to do
compressor,
one,
new
it
system
would.
in altogether.
Yeah, if I would do one, it would just be a modern system, because
Yeah.
most of those literally just tuck up underneath the dash, and you don't see them at all anyway.
Oh, you're talking about one of them. No, I was talking like have like a 99
vintage
Trans Am
air
or
or something
something.
like that.
No,
I don't know if you could make it work, but
No, they're completely different.
I got
Not to mention, again, that's a small block LS.
you. Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen a Pontiac 400, but they're not tiny.
I'm sure I have, but I haven't studied one or anything.
What did
I've
Ford
seen
say?
Trans Ams and stuff like that. So
Mine isn't serious Nia Freon. I don't think they used Freon back then. Didn't they use R12?
it's still R12's Freon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just stuff that's bad for the ozone apparently.
It's a lot better than the R134 because it's shipped
Yeah,
a
the
lot
R12
colder.
is a lot colder. Yeah.
That's what's in
Well, it's a lot
Miss
cheaper.
Stormy's Princess car, the 71 Formula.
Yeah. But
This R12.
yeah, none of
man,
my
I'll tell you, you turn that thing on, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I think my truck has AC. I don't know if it works anymore because I haven't ran it in I don't know how long.
And you've gotta give Pontiac credit. They put a nut vent in.
A what?
The little vent underneath the steering column at the
Oh,
bottom.
yes,
that closes
yes,
up your
yes.
pant leg.
That's if you have all the ducking to go to it.
God
Because
bless 'em.
I don't have nearly half the
Yeah,
ducking that
yeah,
goes
that's
underneath
true.
the dash.
The only problem with hers, the thing with it turned on, I mean, it'll give your package goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're
this
familiar
shit
with
works.
the Trans Ams. They have a vent in at the bottom of the glove box and just underneath the steering wheel that points directly at your freaking your lower section. It is
Right
the
at
most
your seat.
awesome
Right at
thing
your
if
seat.
it works. Now that's a far cry from my Nova, which is an all black car. So it's flat black, the whole car, and then all of the nice shiny chrome accent parts, and then the interior was all black vinyl with a full black vinyl seat and an aluminum core steering wheel with wrapped in leather.
Yeah.
Do
so I
not
don't
leave
think
that
you'd be
car
driving
in the
Sun Belt.
sun anywhere. You had to be one of those things. I used to have towels that I kept in my car that I used to drape over the seat and over the freaking windowsill whenever I left the car. So that way when I came back to the car, I didn't crispify all of my exposed parts. You couldn't even touch the steering wheel. And God forbid it was in the middle of the winter. See, like, you couldn't touch the steering wheel in the middle of summer because it was too hot to touch. You couldn't touch the steering wheel in the middle of winter because it was too cold to touch.
Yep.
Because it's aluminum. I literally can't tell you how many times I would take my hoodie, put my hands up inside the hoodie, and wrap the hoodie not just like once over the steering wheel. I would throw it over once and then wrap it back under and grab the end of my hoodie underneath of my hands to be able to drive my car.
You get one of them heated steering wheel covers.
No, what you do is you point the heat vents directly at the steering wheel. But
Just
it
get a
still took a
heated
while
steering
for it to
wheel.
heat the steering wheel up. So for the first 10 or 15 minutes you're driving the car, you're driving that car feeling like the dude from A Christmas Story with the freaking the flagpole. That's what it felt like. I mean,
Yeah.
it was that steering wheel was so cold It literally hurt your hands.
But did it look cool?
Oh yeah, I have to show you pictures of that car. That car was cool. It was a mean little car. The problem is that car was going downhill by the time I started my YouTube and social media stuff. I didn't really have a whole lot of when that car was really nice. I mean, that car had a custom sound system in it. It had 6-inch kicker front speakers in the doors. They were the
6.5.
yeah, 6.5 with the tweeters, with the posable tweeters.
Yep.
So they were down in the bottom corners of the doors. In the back seat, right above the armrest for the back seats, there was 5x7s with tweeters. And then in the deck lid in the back were 6x9s with mids.
Oh wow! So it sounded pretty good.
And then in the trunk, it had 2 8-inch subs.
So you hit high, mid, and low.
Oh, I had that, and so the front speakers were on their own left and right channels. The mid and back speakers were tied together in series, so they were the left and right rear together. And then, of course, the sub had its own left and right. So, I mean, oh, it was nice. It didn't thump to the point to where it rattled the whole car. It was just nice.
Good solid base.
Yeah, you open up the trunk and you open up the front doors and you point the back end of the car at wherever the party was at. The speakers would do the rest. So, I mean, it was actually really nice acoustics when you opened it all up like that.
I just traded a set of 12-inch subs and an amp for some wheels for the 88 that I'm working on. I had to replace the tires, and I can't find any 15s around here.
It's a shame because when I left my ex, the Cavalier that we had that I parked the Nova for had 2 12-inch subs tucked up in the rear quarters.
Nice.
So, I mean, if you've ever seen like an 03 Cavalier, that last gen before they went to the Cobalt,
yep.
The trunk hinges come down, right? Because they have that weird S thing.
Right.
So, in between the outer skin of the car and that hinge, the subwoofer was tucked in between there. I had 2 12-inch subs on each side. Yeah, I had a custom box. And then the floor where the spare tire goes.
Right.
Just above that, I built a custom hinged platform, so that way you can lift it up to get to the spare tire. And on the underside of that hinged platform, the top of it was solid, so you could put your rug down. But underneath of that hinge was the amp and the capacitor and all the wiring for the sub that ran underneath that platform and up to the subs.
Keep it all hidden.
Right,
yeah.
You kept it all hidden, so you can still throw your back seat down. You could still throw a stroller in the back of the car because we had kids. And like I said, you just lift it up. You didn't have to unhook everything to be able to get your spare tire out. You just lifted up that center section, propped it open, pulled up the cover for the spare tire, pulled the spare tire out, and there you go. And the other cool thing about that thing is because of the way that it was made, there was a bunch of little compartments in it from sitting on top of the actual trunk floor that you could stash stuff in, like my Kia has now. If you lift up the back of the Kia, there's a styrofoam compartment that goes above the spare tire that has a whole bunch of compartments to put stuff in.
You got the Kia, the Soul exclamation point, or
I have the Kia Soul Plus?
The Plus. So does yours have the subwoofer built into the back door?
Not the back door, I don't think.
It would. Some of them do. They have like
on the side, I think.
The subwoofers light up and all that.
Well, our front speakers on the doors light up. Actually, the regular base model, the base model and the Plus both do that because we have a base model and we have a Plus.
Oh, nice.
Our
Kia Soul's are kind of cool. That's what my daughter's wanting for her first car. So.
Well, the Kia, we have 2 of them. We have a 2011 base model.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the 2012 Kia Soul Plus. The base model is a 5-speed.
Oh.
They both have the selecta-gear, so you can throw the gear shift selector over to the driver's side, and you can manually shift it up and down. The base model has the smaller 4-cylinder, and the Kia Soul Plus has the bigger 4-cylinder with a 6-speed and the better suspension.
I forgot what they call them engines. GDIs.
I don't know. I don't know them that well. I just know that the Kia Soul Plus gets up and moves, and the other one, it's like flogging a dead horse.
Right. Good fuel mileage, though.
No, they both get about the same.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they both get about 27.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Actually, they
They're
get
actually
between
pretty
27
spacious
and
on the inside.
they get between 25 and 30. The problem with the green one is it's really hard to get good fuel mileage in that car because it's too fun to be fuel efficient.
I got you. A little too much power for it. For how small it is.
No. There's a little too much fun in the right foot pedal.
Mm.
That one's fun to beat.
It's like an old Pontiac. It encourages rebuild excitement.
Yes, it's. They would both run the same fuel economy if you could keep out of the right foot pedal in the green one. You know, whereas you get in the right foot pedal on the gray one just to be able to get it up to speed. The other one's just fun to push down.
Well, but the other one's a 5-speed, so you always get that. That's pretty cool still.
I like the 6-speed better.
Yeah.
You find that the shift points are in better places, and it doesn't fall on its face when it gets above 60.
I got you.
It's
Has
still
more
got a
on top
gear.
of it.
It's still got gear to have fun.
Nice.
Short ratio.
Yeah. Like cruising at 80 on the highway in the gray car, you're pushing the top end of where it wants to be. Cruising at 80 in the green car, it still wants to go. It's just scary to go above 80. It's a box.
Right.
Boxes are not fun to get above 80 miles an hour.
Well, I've drove that. I drove the Kia Soul before. I've drove the XB. Is that? Yeah, the Scion XB.
I did not.
And I've
I do not
driven
like
the
the Scion
Nissan Cube.
box.
They all drive about the same. The Kia Soul definitely drives best out of the three of them.
Yeah, the Kia Soul Plus is pretty sporty. The suspension is completely different than the base model.
Really?
Yeah. Let's just say the other thing is like the base model, you have to manhandle that steering wheel to get it to go around.
Right.
It's a stiffer steering wheel. The green car, you can drive that sucker with a pinky.
It's got
I
the
actually have
electronic
to
power
watch,
steering.
like, if I drive the gray car for a while, you have to watch going from the gray car to the green car because you tend to over brake and oversteer that car. Because it brakes and steers so much better. And since we have both of them, it's like, like if I'm driving the gray one for a while and I go to the green one, it's like, whoa, I got to adjust myself because, you either stab the brake too hard or you take the wheel too hard because you're not used to, you're used to having to put more input,
Pilot says his car has 13 Bose speakers. It can
Like he's got a caddy.
Yeah. He was saying how the working the AC from his app or whatever and freaked his wife out.
Yeah, he's got a nice caddy.
Oh yeah.
I would not mind stealing the engine out of a caddy. I had a caddy engine. I had a Cadillac 500 cubic inch out of a 73 Eldorado. Yeah, baby, that's a big boy. I could stick my whole thigh in that engine. When I was a kid, I literally could stick my whole thigh in one of those cylinder walls all the way through.
Wow.
Their bores are like this big around. They are huge. Because it is a big bore short stroke engine.
Crazy.
Because it shares the same stroke. It shares the same platform all the way from the 325 all the way up to the I think all the way up to the 500. They just changed the bore and stroke.
I used to have a 78 with a 425 in it, but I never had it apart.
The 425 is the same block as the 500.
Nice.
Very much smaller bore. I think their bore is like over a half-inch smaller in diameter than the 500.
I don't know what transmission that thing had in it. It had a bad leak, and it just stopped working every once in a while, and I just jump out the foot and it drive off.
Mine had a turbo 400 in it. Turbo
I don't
400 long
remember.
snout.
I'm sure it's the same one it had, but
well,
yeah,
it has
of course it's crap altogether. But
yeah, it has a long snout, so the tail was like 12 inches long.
Wow.
Like most of the Chevy ones are a stubby tail. They're
Yep.
only like 3 or 4 inches long. It had like a 12-inch long freaking tail.
I guess for the weight of the car or something.
No, because how long the car is.
Oh, instead of doing a longer
73
drive.
Eldorado is freaking huge. Now,
Yeah.
the other thing is a lot of the Eldorados from that time were front drive.
Wow.
And they had the big caddies in them. Can you imagine a big Cadillac engine in a front-wheel drive car?
You don't think it'd do too well?
No, they did. They did just
Tornado
fine.
with 455.
Yeah, they had transaxles. But the car that mine came out of was a rear-wheel drive car, so it was paired up with a turbo 400 long tail, and it got wrapped around a telephone pole. That's how I got the engine. I had the engine all the way up until my divorce. So that was going to be my El Camino badass toy.
I take it your ex-wife wouldn't let you build a transmission on the table.
No, we did shit like that. My ex-wife is just we're not going to talk about her on live TV because I don't feel like getting in trouble.
Probably smart thing.
But no, it didn't work out. I couldn't deal with her anymore, and I left. And she took me to the freaking cleaners in the freaking court system. So
That's a good thing about Arkansas, I guess. It's there's no alimony or anything. So.
yeah, she got me for some kind of payment thingy all the way up through until our divorce was over, and then we have this thing in PA where she says what she wants out of the marital property, and then you say what you want, and whatever is the same, you have to sell off, and you split the difference. Wow. Well, she knew that, and she knew
she wanted
had
everything.
Well, she had not. She told me before the divorce was over. She goes, "You give me this, 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 and this, or I'm claiming everything." That's how she did that. So, and then there was some other stuff, financial stuff, to where when it came to court, like I had a storage unit, and when it came to court, she was supposed to pay half the storage unit, to get her stuff out of it. She's like, "Well, I don't want the stuff in it." So I got stuck with the full storage bill that I couldn't afford because I was then paying child support. And so we lost everything in the storage unit, which is where my engine was sitting, a bunch of my tools, an old pool table. I had a bunch of cool stuff in there. Lost it all. On my whole Jeff Gordon diecast car collection.
Man.
Like 3 years before Jeff Gordon decided to quit freaking NASCAR.
Right.
That fucking shit would have been freaking awesome to fucking sell off.
Oh, yeah.
I had some rare freaking cars, like one of 700. Yeah. That's because I was young and had money and was single and was able to buy that shit then. Let's see. Since 67 when the first one came out. Oh, all of them were... Well, I guess maybe they were, but I know a lot of them were rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, my 78 was a rear-wheel drive. Because the drive shaft fell out on me one time.
Your 78, was that an X-body?
Man, I barely remember it. It was the ones where the bumpers were falling off in the back and all that.
I don't know. Is the one where the back tailgate went like this and then it just fell off and then went to the bumper?
No. It wasn't like that.
That was the one that shared the same body style, shared the same platform as the Nova.
I got you. No, it wasn't like that. This one was it's like a squarish kind of back, and the taillight stuck out or whatever, and the bumper and taillights looked like they were going to fall off. That's just how back
might have been the A body.
Could have been.
It might have been the A body, which would have shared the
78 Eldorado with a 425 in it. And that's all I remember.
I almost bought a Buick Electra with a 455 in it. I think that was a late 70s 4-door. Thing was freaking massively long. It was huge.
They call them sleds.
Oh my god, it was so gorgeous. It was beat. The engine was locked up, but to me, at the age I was when I saw that car, it was gorgeous. I still have a soft spot for those huge, long 4-doors.
Well, a lot of people are liking them now. They put them on airbags and sit them on the flat on the ground and
stuff. I don't want them that low, but I just like them. I mean, and with the engines they have today, you could easily haul one of those around. You know, you don't need a big 455 in them now. I mean, some of the LS engines could easily fucking yank them around all over the place.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, pilot, my 73 that I got my engine out of was rear-wheel drive. There was a lot of rear-wheel drive Cadillac 500s out there.
Yeah, I could cry. I missed a chance to get one. I mean, from that air cleaner to oil pan for $100 down in Gettysburg.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the big old Buicks. The Buick Electras were freaking gorgeous. Same with the old Cadillac, the Fleetwoods and the Eldorados. They were gorgeous cars back then.
You can still find them around Arkansas. I mean, they're still down here. They're not all rusted or anything.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing I'd want out of one now. I mean, I think it'd be a pipe dream at this point. But that Caddy 500 would have been freaking an awesome, unique build to have stuffed underneath of a muscle car today.
Sure.
I mean, you can make 800, 900 horsepower naturally aspirated out of them, no problem.
Oh, wow.
They just ain't going to rev. They just don't rev much more than $5,000. Huh?
Especially when you pop the hood of the car show and people walk over, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
The Caddies, they look small when they're in the Cadillac because they have a sunken intake. To clear the hoods on the Cadillacs, they had to sink the intake down into the valley pan. So they don't look very big. They're really wide. Actually, they're not actually really wide. They're not that wide because they're about the same width as a Chevy. In fact, you can stuff them in where a lot of Chevys were. Where they are, they're tall. So, you know, when you put a regular intake on one of them, you're not fitting it under the hood of a car. So when you sell
see where they're?
Huh?
I said, did you see where they're talking about? Or there's rumors about a new Grand National coming out? They're going to.
I see rumors of a lot of things, but the thing is how are they going to recapture that?
They won't. I say they won't. They did okay on the Mustang and the
well, yes,
Challenger.
But that's not a Grand National.
Right.
The Grand National, the reason why the Grand National made it the way they did, okay, you got to think about the time period of when that car came out. It came out in the mid '80s.
When the gas
cars could not get out of their own way in the mid '80s. They all were way underpowered because they were trying instead of making the cars run better, they were just trying to make them not emit so much pollution. So instead of making them run more efficiently, they were just suffocating them. And a lot of the engines, if you were to stick old school intakes and heads on them, they'd run just fine. But because where they did most of their damage was small intakes and restrictive heads and stuff, and bad cams. But you got to think of that. So it's in the mid '80s. Most cars could barely make above 200 horsepower. They were ugly, boxy, slow. You have the Grand National that comes out, V6, big ass freaking turbo for the time, making a crap ton of power for its size of an engine, and it wasn't that heavy. You know, where are you going to get...
like Pilot said, it was faster than the Corvette the same year. So.
Yeah. Where are you going to get... how are you going to top that today with what cars are doing today? I mean, you have the Corvette... Yeah, you have the Corvette...
300 horsepower.
You have the Corvette
Z06.
No, the one above that. The big wing.
I can't even think what it's called.
The one that Street Speed has now. What the fuck is it? No, it's not a Z06. He has a
Z06.
No.
He has the one.
ZR1.
The one you have.
The ZR1. That's it. The ZR1.
ZR1. Yeah. $100,000 one.
Yeah. You know, they have 700-800 horsepower right off the freaking get-go, already supercharged.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna get a two-door, and the other thing is how are they going to capture the styling of a Grand National?
Right. I think it would for me, I
I
think
think
they
it would
would do
look funky.
something.
I mean, the
It'd come out
Challenger
and
looks
do like
funky
the,
enough.
yeah, well, the Challenger still has some good body lines and stuff,
It
but I
does.
just don't
But
think
the
they
thing
can
is
capture the body lines
the
of the.
Challenger,
Yeah.
the top 2/3 of the car looks like a Challenger, and then it looks like somebody just like dropped the skirt on the bottom half.
Right.
They kept all the body lines. They just moved everything up like 5-6 inches to be able to meet the crash standards.
Sure.
So if you look at the top half of the car, it's Challenger. It's there. All the body lines are there. It looks spot on. But then
Yep.
when you step back and look at the whole car, it looks fat.
Well, I still am glad they're doing something like
Oh
this.
yeah,
though,
I'm
you know,
sorry. It is an
with all the
absolutely
Honda
gorgeous
Civics
car.
out there, and
Then you
Not
had
a
the
lot better than
Camaro.
Charger.
The
and
Camaro and
the
the
Chargers.
Mustang, they originally started looking like the old school cars, and then they drifted away from it. Now I don't
Yeah,
think I don't hate the newer Mustang and Camaros.
Right.
They are still the same mantra: big engine, freaking rear wheel drive, freaking whole lot of freaking yeehaw.
Pony
You know,
car.
It's crazy they get over 300 horsepower over 4-cylinder in that Mustang now.
Yeah, no,
Off the line like stock.
I don't care how much horsepower you're getting out of it. It's not a V8. It's not going to sound like a V8. You know,
I haven't drove one, but I've heard good things about
yeah.
it.
And I'm not saying it's not going to be a
might
bad.
drive
I'm not saying it's going to be a bad car.
Sure.
You know, because geez, look at these electric cars and what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
But does that electric car get my blood pumping, and does it make me, want to drool?
It might throw you back in the seat, but you don't feel it.
It's going to be fun, but it's like going to be like freaking riding a roller coaster. It's just it's not the same. I don't even have to go. Okay, the thing is, when you drive something like my Trans Am or my Nova, or one of these new Camaros or Mustangs or whatever with the big V8s, you don't have to go anywhere. That car makes you excited sitting there just idling.
Well, it's a muscle car. If you want a fast car, you get a
fire
supercar. They're way faster.
Your own trigger when it fires up from across the parking lot. It's not worth looking at.
Exactly. If it doesn't make me spin my head around when I freaking hear it, then I don't really
Prime
care.
example.
I don't care how fast it goes.
I was stuck in Washington back in February. I did a delivery and I was stuck overnight. So I'm gonna go walk, find somewhere. You know what? I never did get anything to eat for supper because I'm sitting there doing something, and then I hear this noise. And Miss Formie heard it over the phone because I was walking around outside the truck. She's like, "What the hell's that?" And then we heard it again. Then we heard it again. I said, "Somebody's doing a goddamn dyno pull with a car somewhere." Well, I walked. It was about 3.5 blocks. I found it. There's a shop at this big ass goddamn car, and inside the garage on a dyno doing dyno pulls. I says, "What are we looking at?" It says, "Oh, it's conservative right now. We're still trying to get the tuning down." Well, what's conservative? Oh, we're 3,300 RPM at 850 horse and about 900 foot-pound of torque. Oh. That's conservative? Oh yeah, we were expecting over 1,000.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it. That's why I said it's like, how is Grand National going to top that? I mean, you look at some of these. You take these new Corvettes, not even the ZR1s, just the Z06s, and with a little bit of head work and a tune, they're making right there at 1,000 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Not even actual any real bolt-ons. Not camming it.
6.25, 600, 6.25 factory stock.
No, they're making 700 factory stock.
Are they 7 now?
Mm-hmm. Well, not the C8s, the C7s.
Yeah, I mean the C7 Z06.
I still like the C7 way more than the C8. I mean, the C8's cool, but again, it's that same thing. They fucked with the formula.
Well, it's like if you want a supercar, you're gonna buy a supercar. You want a Corvette, it's still a muscle car. It's a nice muscle car, but it's still
a sports car.
Yeah,
Corvette's a sports car. It's not a muscle car.
Yeah.
And it's a sports car with a lot of muscle under the hood.
There you go.
There's a difference between a pony car and a sports car.
Definitely.
And the thing is no, it's not a muscle car, because a muscle car, again, like my Nova is my Nova is not a muscle car. My Nova would be considered a pony car.
Really?
Pony cars are small, 2-door, big engine, rear-wheel drive. Muscle cars were the bigger brothers. Okay,
With
so
the
the
big
muscle
blocks
car
and all
would
that.
be the GTO, the Chevelle, the Charger. The pony cars would be the Cuda, the Challenger, the Corvette. I mean, not the Corvette. The
Trans Am.
the Trans Am, the Camaro. Those would be the pony cars. A
Okay.
muscle car was the big bodied cars with the big engines.
Right.
So, like I said, your GTOs, your Chargers, your Chevelles.
Cells, Skylarks.
Yeah, those were the muscle cars. So, I mean, and then of course you got your sports cars, which are only offered with 2 seats. Sports cars
Right.
normally 2-seaters, small. The Corvette's the only one that really breaks that mold because it has a bigger engine in it. Most sports
Right.
cars have a smaller engine in them.
Yeah, Ford's answer didn't work. The original Thunderbird.
So
The original
I mean,
Thunderbirds were pretty neat.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't consider a Thunderbird a sports car either. That's a luxury
No?
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were.
Well, the original
the,
ones.
orig-
The
the
original
original
ones.
Thunderbird was made to compete with the Vet, and it just didn't
Right.
have it.
Right. They still sold a lot of them though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even the newer Thunderbirds weren't too bad.
The 2001 models where they
Yeah, the
tried to
newer
recreate
ones.
the first ones.
Yeah, they weren't too bad. I think they
They're
were
okay.
undersold.
They're
and
going up in
undermarketed.
value now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they're going up in value now.
because they
Just like
still
the-
are a nice car. They were just right at the. They were just on the wrong side of the bring the classic cars back.
Right. Well, and they brought some things back and not others. They're pretty slow and
Yeah.
just-
You mean like the new Dodge Dart?
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
joke.
that's
What a
That's
joke.
the
that's
Dodge
almost
Dart
as bad
is
as the
a
Blazer.
Dodge Neon.
Yeah, it's almost as bad
Oh,
as
the new Blazers. Yeah, that's bad.
Now I gotta.
You
Now,
almost-
that is
I
nothing.
almost got to
knocking
say,
the new Blazer.
congratulations, Chrysler! You reintroduced the Ford Escort.
Right.
Now, like I said, the new Blazers, them in themselves, that's a
Those
nice
are-
looking truck.
Sure,
the
but it
Blazer
shouldn't be called a Blazer.
Right,
Also-
exactly. It's just the name doesn't fit.
For me, when I'm thinking Blazer, I'm thinking like what Ford is doing with the new Bronco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's new, but it still looks.
you got to
know,
bring
like
back the
old.
classic look.
Yeah. If not, just come up with another name, or call it an Equinox or whatever,
Yeah, I mean that's the like I said, when they went from the Neon to the Dart, it's exactly what you did.
Speaking of the Equinox, this is only very loosely related, but I realized just a few minutes ago that Chevy makes the Equinox and Pontiac had the Solstice.
Well, I mean,
And the
it's the
Solstice
way,
is like a nimble little sporty thing, and then the Equinox
Sports
is like
car,
some
yeah.
small crossover looking thing. Like,
Is what replaced the Blazer, the
yeah,
Trailblazer.
not even really replace it, just kind of like filled in the gap. There's no replacement
well,
for.
that's what they do. They just change the nameplate to freaking bring more excitement or attract a different crowd.
Right.
They went from the Blazer to the Trailblazer, trying to grab the younger crowd.
Well, they went from the
It's the
full
same
size
vehicle.
Blazer. The full size Blazer was replaced with the Tahoe, and then the S10 Blazer they went into the Trailblazer,
Right.
and then to the Equinox after that, and now back to the Blazer, I guess. But
I don't know. I don't see somebody taking that new Blazer and going off-roading with it.
Oh, absolutely not.
somebody's gonna try, but probably not the
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
paid
they're gonna
for it.
have a bad
Maybe like
time.
their kid or something.
Yeah, I don't think that the suspension and the undercarriage of that car, even
No.
with upgrades, is capable of doing a whole lot of aggressive off-roading. And that was one of the things that the old school Blazer was good at. I mean, where did you see a lot of them? You saw a lot of them on the trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one. I've got an 84 sitting outside right now. I could jump in it, start it up, and go anywhere.
My stepfather, when I was growing up, he had an 85 K5 Blazer with the removable rear cap,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a 454 in it with 396 heads. It had the 12 lug axles in it.
Oh wow!
That thing could literally dig itself a hole.
Yeah.
He would put that thing in 4-wheel drive. Now we had a campground down in Vineland, a trailer park campground. We would spend the summer weekends. We would go every weekend when he got off of work on Friday. We would all pack in the truck and go down to the camper down in Vineland, New Jersey for the weekend. Whole thing, campfire, freaking fireworks every weekend, that kind of thing. And it was sandy. It wasn't real. It was like a mix of sand and dirt down there. He pulled the truck up down where we used to throw horseshoes, and he threw it in 4-wheel drive and just got on it. It literally dug this truck straight down to the pumpkins.
Oh wow! I guess it got stuck, man.
No, the truck is sitting on 38s. 38s, 8-inch lift for 2-inch body lift. So it's 10 inches completely of lift plus the lift from the tires.
Right.
It dug itself all the way down to the pumpkins. Threw it down in the first. Idled out of the hole.
Goddamn.
No, mine's a 84. It is to get the removable hardtop and all that, but it's it's just 6-slug 305.
Yeah, this is like I said, 454 4-wheel drive. This thing was a beast.
I like the diesel ones. They're a little underpowered, because they're naturally aspirated. But...
Yeah, my mom was going down the highway, and it was dark out. We were on our way back, I think, from New Jersey the one weekend. We had a GTO pull up next to us. Old school GTO. And thought it was all hot shit, whatever. We're on the highway. It burps its freaking throttle next to us, whatever. My mom looks over. And the GTO gets on it to go. My mom just freaking gets on the freaking truck. We beat the GTO.
Oh, wow.
In a lifted freaking Dodge, in a lifted Blazer. It was freaking epic. They freaking get over there, and he looks over, and he's like, what do you got in there? 454. But it's not, like I said, it's not a regular 454. It's a 454 with 396 heads.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's a big compression. I mean, you're, what, 11 to 1, 12 to 1?
Well, and the way the torque setup is on that thing, it'll get out there.
Oh, yeah, especially 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's just going to go.
Well, and I know mine's a 70-30 split. So it's all the time 4-wheel drive, unless you hook it in 50-50 split. But I'm sure that one was too, since it's 85. This one 84.
Yeah. I don't know. It was fun. The thing
chain
got
driven
up and went.
torque converter. I mean,
yeah. Chain driven freaking transfer case.
Yeah.
Hear that thing whine. Yeah, it was a fun truck. Never ever got it stuck. Pulled people out all winter. Then again, I've never gotten my truck stuck either. I've driven in snow higher than my bumper in the Dodge and not gotten it stuck.
I've got an F-150 right now that I've been building on. I'm almost done. It's a 2002 Super Crew model.
Yeah.
And I got it stuck the other day, and right now I've got it on 33s. And it's that 5.4 is no power.
Yeah, I run 33 by 12.5 mud claws. And
I got super swampers on the floor.
Yeah, so 12.5,
33
33 by 12.5 inch mud claws, and like I said, it's stock height. So, which is not stock for a Dodge Ram 1500. It's got about 2 inches on a Dodge Ram 1500. But like I said, it literally snow all the way up to the doors on that truck, and it just goes. It does not get stuck.
I could not imagine snow up to the doors.
It was fun. I have pictures of it.
If it snows here, we get like half an inch, maybe an inch if we're real lucky.
So I guess it doesn't. That reference doesn't make much sense to you because you don't know what it's like to drive in snow that deep.
No. We just do mud.
Biggie, have you ever driven in snow up to the bottom of your doors?
No,
fresh, unpacked snow up there that high?
I mean, to get out of my driveway, yeah, but that's about it.
Do you have trouble getting out?
No, not really.
Do you ever have trouble driving that car in the snow?
No.
Well, it was quite fun because like where we were at, we were in the backcountry. It's up a hill out of our driveway, and then it was not plowed all the way out to the main road, which was a good 3.5 miles. I made my own way. There was 20 27 inches of snow.
Good lord.
27 inches of snow, and the truck had no problem.
You could probably put a plow on that thing and
No.
make your money back. No,
It wouldn't go down low enough.
Why would I would not put a plow on that truck? Number one, the truck sits too high.
Oh,
You don't put a plow on a truck that high because the center of gravity is wrong.
right.
It puts too much stress in the frame in the wrong spot.
I got you.
You'll end up twisting the frame. Not to mention, you're not going to have a whole lot of pushing force for the plow.
Yeah, we don't have to do all that down here. So.
You want to put the weight behind the plow, and if your weight is above the plow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
End up like that video of that dude who tries to outpull a monster truck in his Dodge Ram, and you just see the whole truck just go like, eh.
Yep, basically what you're doing. You would be putting, like I said, you'd be putting some pressure in some really bad spots. But no, that truck would be more fun off-roading and trail riding than it would be being a snow toy. I mean, a snow plow. Not to mention,
Y'all have a pretty big off-road park up there, don't you?
we have a few of them. We have a few not so name brandy ones too. It's just some backwoods freaking. We have ones that literally you can find by just ducking off the main highways. Literally, you see the paths going out to them right off of the main state highways.
State forest roads.
And it's legal to drive out there?
No, I didn't say it was legal.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Come on.
So like the telephone poles and all that?
Well, yeah, if you look at like Send It Steve's videos, it's not legal for them to be out there.
Oh.
Those paths running underneath of the freaking the electric lines. That's not. I mean, they don't have permission to be out there. I'm pretty sure, but somebody's got to be out there to stop them.
Right. Somebody has to enforce it.
There's not that much police force to freaking patrol that shit. Not to mention, you got to find a freaking police guy to be able to get out there to them.
You just drive through the mud and get away.
Fuck yeah! You just cross one of those freaking streams or be gone. I mean, like I said, I can ford a stream that's pretty high up, and freaking standard police SUV ain't following me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that I'm condoning, breaking the law or anything, but
sure.
Or fleeing the police.
Well, yeah, or fleeing the police. Yeah. Not that no, we won't even talk about that thing back there. that's what the thing was made to do.
Right? They had a whole movie about it.
Right?
Couple movies.
Yeah. The third one was no good though.
Nuh-uh.
Second one wasn't great. Third one was
bad. The whole third gen Trans Am just kind of killed it.
Yeah. It just doesn't have the same body style and.
No, you give me a third gen Camaro, and I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, I like the IROC Zs and all that.
Yep,
they're pretty sweet.
Now when it comes to the fourth gens, forget it. I don't like the Camaros anymore again.
The bubbles.
Yeah, the catfish. We call
not
them
the
catfish.
94s. You're talking like the 98s.
They're catfish. They all are. No, but they're just.
I've
ugly.
never owned one of them.
And see, now I don't like the early fourth gen Firebirds either, though.
Yeah.
98 to 02 is my dream. I want a 98 to 02 WS6 black on black.
Ram Air.
Good luck finding one.
They're not that. Actually, they're not that hard to find anymore.
Really?
No.
The only ones I've seen are about 10 grand. I just don't have it.
10 grand still ain't that bad for one of those.
Hell no.
It's a lot of money for me, man.
Oh, it's a lot of money for me, but it's not a lot of money for one of those cars.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Good
That's
luck.
cheap for one of those cars.
Yeah.
Shit.
You're lucky to find them under 15,000 here.
Oh wow.
I could have had one of them 01 that what the hell was that color blue they come out with then?
Oh, they had a pretty blue too.
The blue metallic, yeah.
Blue, white, black, red. I don't care.
It was an 01 WS6, 6 feet. I mean, decked out. This chick had it. They're getting a divorce, and she said, first person comes up with $6,000 that lays in my hand has that car.
Yeah, the only one I can't stand is the CTA? The yellow one?
Yeah.
The yellow special edition one. Blech.
The CETA.
Yeah, oh my god, the thing's ugly.
CETA, yeah. Anniversary edition. Yeah.
It was ugly. Now the Firehawks, oh my god, they were absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, SLP.
Yep. Freaking gorgeous ass red. Even that special
Badass
edition
car.
one with the silver one with the freaking recessed headlights. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was pretty nice looking. That thing was pretty wicked out. The performance-wise, that thing was pretty mean too. My sister's Lexus is going up on Doug DeMiro's cars, and I can't read the last part because of my freaking crappy eyeballs.
Cars and bids this week.
Oh shit!
Oh, nice.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's like still my dream is to own one of those. But the thing is that at this point is the LS that's in those cars is so underpowered. I kind of want to drive one as they are, but at the same point, I kind of want to drop a freaking current gen Camaro freaking drivetrain in one.
Sweet Jesus.
You know, why have 300 horsepower when you can have 600 horsepower?
There's lots of cars I'd love to
Why
have.
have 600 horsepower when you could have
Well,
all the horsepower?
I don't think those cars having 1,000 horsepower, the bodies on those cars won't take 1,000 horsepower too long.
They
will
have
twist.
to modify them. Yeah, they have to modify them pretty
And the
bad.
thing is
To
I'm
me,
not
it
looking.
just takes the look away.
I don't want one of those cars to be like I know there's the what is it, the Bullet WS6 channel that has the Coyote engine in one of those. He has a twin turbo Coyote engine in one of those F bodies.
What a crying shame.
Well, yes and no. I mean, how many Fords have we stuck an LS in? The thing's a beast, regardless. I mean, at that point, in this current day and age, there really is no, when it comes to engines, banner between Chevy and Ford. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like it was in the 60s and 70s, you know, where you actually took pride in what engine was in your car. But, you know, and it's not like I have any necessarily love affair with the LS either. You know, I have no love connection to the LS. So, I mean, I have a connection to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's like anything. It's your car, your project, you know.
Yeah.
Haters would be haters, you know, like I say, keep sucking them about the what.
When I first heard that they stuck a freaking Coyote engine in this car, I was a little hurt. But I started watching the videos, and I'm like, God damn, that car fucking hauls ass.
Uh-huh.
You know,
if he bought it as a rolling chassis or a car that had a blowed up engine, and you know, big freaking deal.
I think he blew up the LS engine that was in it. So he upgraded. Which, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can get that much power out of a Coyote and you have a Coyote engine sitting there, you know, at that point it may have been just a money thing. You know, I got this thing sitting here. I want to get the car back up and running as fast as I can, which is the easiest way to do it. You know, if I've got a busted Coyote car, and I have a hurt LS car here, just make two cars into one.
Do anything with a cutting torch and a welder.
And not to mention, a Coyote-powered Trans Am is something unique on YouTube. And when you're a new YouTuber, you do the things that somebody else isn't doing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can do the things everyone else is doing and ride coattails, but to be the person that goes viral, you're going to gain the most subscribers by doing something different. You know, doing the thing going down the path that hasn't been gone down. I mean, look at the B is for Build thing. Okay, he was the first one I saw to do the classic Mustang swap onto the current gen Mustang body or platform. I'm not saying that, you know, classic car onto a modern chassis hasn't been done before, because they did that with the Dodge Challenger body with the old school Charger body sitting on top of it. They've done it. But he was one of the current YouTubers to start doing that. Now look, you got Goon Squad's friend. He did that one with the classic Mustang. VCore, or whatever the hell that one is, he's doing the same thing. Classic Mustang on a current Mustang chassis. You know, and the first one I see doing that was B is for Build, with the Eleanor car that he got taken away. Which is kind of a shame, because he got it all the way done to the point to where it was a proven concept that it could be done, and then got all the videos and the car taken.
Wait, they took his fucking car?
They took his car.
What?
Why?
Because
you think they would have sponsored it, and
no, it's because you have to know the whole thing to deal with that car.
Right.
And the thing is he was building an Eleanor car that looked like the modern movie car. So Eleanor from the early 2000s, whenever that movie came out.
With Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. The widow that owns the rights to the name Eleanor is from the original 1970s movie. The guy who created the original movie, his widow is the one that owns the rights to that name. And she has gone off after Carroll Shelby and a whole bunch of people that have tried to create clones of the modern Eleanor car.
That is absurd.
And yes, she goes after everything, the whole car.
Yeah, money
That is
hungry,
fucking
greedy.
bullshit.
Yeah, she's just greedy. And the thing is it just makes she's not doing I understand, copyright laws and all of that, but what are you who's hurting more out of that? What are you
Now
getting?
is she putting everything in storage, or she have the thing destroyed?
I don't know.
No idea. I don't know.
But you think she'd be happy that it's keeping it relevant?
Like, it's one of those things that, as soon as that lawyer gets involved, everybody shuts up. Nobody talks. You never know what happens after the judgment, because everybody is told to shut up, and they're not allowed to talk about it. Cease and desist, and a gag clause. They get all of that, so they're not allowed to talk about it.
Sign a non-disclosure clause.
So they just lose everything. And the thing is, some people get away with it. Some people don't get their cars snagged and whatever. But, B is for Build was out there. He ended up on, VinWiki and shit like that with this car. And, that's what happens. I mean, he just was building a car that looked like one that he liked from a movie. Could you imagine if, fucking whoever created the Smokey and the Bandit freaking franchise started going after everybody that had a black Trans Am? Or a General Lee?
Or Back to the Future car?
Or Back to the... It's just ridiculous.
You know how many people have rebuilt the Back to the Future car like exact?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's called, it's called basically automotive cosplay.
But it keeps the names relevant.
It keeps the names relevant. It keeps the passion alive. It's
keeps people interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet
how many teenagers
one of my
grew
kids
up
right
watching,
now.
the Bullet movies and whatever, and grew up and wanted that Mustang?
I can go ask my kids right now if they know what an Eleanor Mustang is. They would say no.
Right.
Your biggest problem right now is the people that like that one there that went after that car. They're not car people. They have no understanding of the car culture at all.
No, they just want the
all
money.
they see is, it's well, that's mine. I own that right, or it's.
I mean, the music industry did something similar to that too, and I think they've done it now. I mean, with the fact that YouTubers cannot have any freaking copyrighted music in the background of their freaking videos. I
For
mean,
longer than like 2 seconds or something.
Yeah, not even. No. Yeah, I mean, you can get away with under like 30 seconds, but technically, if they wanted to, they can still snag the audio off of your video or claim your. Don't use. Not even, especially being a smaller YouTuber without a lawyer background or somebody standing behind you, whatever. Not even 2 seconds. Because they can still nail you for it. just like I said, it all it takes is somebody to be, and depending on what track you use, like a Britney Spears song, forget it. She will go after you with a freaking passion.
Really?
I mean, she's gone after paparazzi with an umbrella, so
Yeah, I mean, there's certain music labels that will hunt you down more thoroughly than someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Like
look at
Justin
all of the
Bieber, when
people
that
that
guy
used to
wanted
do
the autograph,
the
he ended up
covers.
getting his ass kicked.
You look at all the people that used to do the song covers, you know, and all of that. They'll even tell you when it first started happening, some of their videos the artist didn't mind, and other ones immediately would freaking jump down them like freaking, you know, like they just robbed their freaking last penny. You know, it all depends on how much you know they want to do. Oh my god. You know, Pilot, even if you retract the message, it still shows up on the live stream.
It just says message retracted.
Yeah,
here,
look
so.
at the you got to look at the live stream itself. It's there.
Oh.
Just because you retracted off of YouTube. The thing is that's not that. Like I said, it's how this works. It's how the Streamlabs works. Once
My
it goes up,
God.
it goes up. Streamlabs doesn't know to
it's
pull
up,
it back.
right. It is up.
If you weren't Pilot. Oh, but anyway, so yeah, I mean it's like ridiculous. I mean they just they don't understand, and it just kills the whole culture. I mean, think about it now. How many people now have a bad taste in their mouth for the Gone in 60 Seconds movie?
I mean, I do for sure.
Yeah, I used to love that movie. But you know what? Not right now.
Yeah.
Because that's just sickening. I mean,
Yeah.
I was enjoying watching that build. I mean, and the thing is you have to understand that, you know, B is for build. Yeah, he has fancy cars, but it's because he fixed up wrecked ones.
Right.
Not because he has a shit ton of money.
Well, and it's not like he's taken away from the original car.
No, he was
It's not
creating
like
his
he's
own.
claiming that it's original car, or he's saying, you know, it's an exact replica, or any, you know, it's still
No.
not going to be the original
Yeah.
car.
He didn't claim it as the Eleanor. He just claimed it as, you know, we used an Eleanor front end. You know, that he bought off of eBay. You know, I mean, other than that, the only thing. See, the thing is what I don't understand. Okay, you want to go after him, so take the body pieces. The rest of the car was not an Eleanor. The front nose, bumper, hood, and the rear taillights. Well, not even the rear taillights, because the rear taillights were Shelby GT500 taillights.
Yep.
You know, all right. So the rear deck spoiler, I think, was the only other thing. The side skirts, the front fascia, the hood, and the rear spoiler. Take those pieces. Leave him the rest of the car. He can build a regular classic '67 Mustang.
Sure, or Shelby or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't have to buy. He didn't have to build an Eleanor. He could have built a regular freaking Mustang at that point. I don't understand why they had to take the whole damn car, except for she's just a prick.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen that Ford versus Ferrari movie yet?
I have not. I
yet.
want to. I have not sat down and watched it.
It's okay.
I know that it's not accurate.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah,
It's
that would
close.
make a lot of sense.
it's close, but
Yeah.
it's not accurate. It's definitely glorified. Scenes are changed. Events are changed to be
course.
more exciting for the TV. There's a whole documentary on that, as well as what is, you know, what stuff was, because there's still people around that were from that time, and they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. These people didn't even freaking see each other. You know, it's loosely based.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it makes a good movie. So if it makes a good movie, it makes a good movie. I mean, the other thing is you
Hollywood
think
hype.
about what was that other IndyCar movie, Rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rush is the same way. Rush was, you know, it was loosely based on the events involving those two drivers. Loosely. You know, some of the main facts were accurate, but a lot of the rest of it was filled in.
Well, and then, you know, they kind of have to do some of that. You
Well,
don't
yeah,
want to make
because-
a history video. You know?
Yeah, because it'd be boring. You know, a lot
What?
of those events would be freaking boring. if they were, real life. They got to sensationalize them. Not to mention, it's kind of like the freaking, how they created dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. We know what what we need and what it needs to look like, but we don't have all the pieces, so we'll put in pieces of this frog. Oh my God, Chris, that was horrifying.
Scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, when the lights freaking came up on you kind of looked like Michael Myers there for a half a second.
Uh-huh.
Just the way it faded in on the freaking computer. I'm going to have to go back and watch that fucking clip. Oh my God.
I'm going to make it your new intro.
Make it a GIF.
Yeah, here you go.
Put the freaking Michael Myers music in there and hope I don't get copyright striked. Now, Ricky Bobby. Now that's nowhere even near. That was not even loosely based.
That is like the definition of satire.
Hey, that is a great movie, though.
I hated that movie. When I was such a diehard NASCAR fan when that movie came out, I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I didn't
because it just made it. You know what I mean? It was one of those things like. It's like being. Well, I am Irish, and then it's like the Lucky Charms guy. And it's just one of those things. It just totally smacks you in the face of what your culture is and everything.
Well, I went to Talladega probably about a year after the movie came out.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the tour of the track or whatever, and the tour guide, I said, "Hey, are we going to see Ricky Bobby today?" And he's like, "Who?"
Who?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Okay. Well, the thing is also things like that movie is also what has killed NASCAR.
Sure.
When NASCAR hit that big boom in popularity, NASCAR changed. NASCAR changed to be appealing to that crowd that was coming in, the sensation crowd.
Well, they got to go for the money, yeah.
Well, yeah, they did. And what happened is they turned their backs on A, the racing itself, and B, the fans that were already there. And what happens is when you change your whole being to make yourself appealing to a midnight fling, what happens when the midnight fling disappears?
Right, you lose your original badge.
You've lost. You have. There's a saying about that. About
you alienated the base, and they're not coming back.
Right, but no, there's actually a well, you shot your the whole what is it? Shoot your foot to save your face or something like that. There's a whole bunch of
shoot yourself in the foot to spite your face.
Yeah, you're sitting there or putting the cart before the horse. That's another one. What they did is they changed their whole way of doing things to support to impress a set of a fan a group of fans that were not in it for the sport.
And no comprehension.
No, they were in it. They were in it because it was cool. They were in it because it was the in thing, not because they were actually interested in the sport itself. And like I said, when they left, when NASCAR was no longer the in thing, the problem is you'd already ostracized the whole your core fans, the ones that don't go anywhere. You drove them away, and that's what they did. I wasn't watching NASCAR because I liked NASCAR because it was like football. No, I was watching NASCAR because it wasn't like football.
Right.
So you change NASCAR to be more appealing to the crowd that likes football, and that crowd left, and now your fans that were here because they like NASCAR for what it was now have nothing to watch.
Yeah.
They did a whole bunch of stuff.
Godforsaken car tomorrow. Ugh.
Yeah, that thing was horrible.
And then the Sidewinder.
I don't remember that one.
The one that come down when you look at the straightaway, when they did the straightaway shot, the car looked like it's coming down sideways at you. You're looking at the right side of it because of the way the bodies and that were mounted.
No, I don't remember that. I had probably already stopped watching NASCAR by then. I know that I was really, really, when they started doing the whole bolt-on freaking quick replacement panel idea, I don't know if that ever came to fruition, but that made me gag.
No, thankfully.
I don't know. I saw that and I laughed. I was like, you just keep screwing the pooch.
I never get into it. I'd rather watch somebody drag race all day.
I enjoy that too, but it's a different kind of thing.
It is. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I
Like
grew up
now,
that
watching
would be my style.
NASCAR. I grew up watching NASCAR from the time I was a toddler. I was going to racetracks when I was a toddler. That's what I knew growing up, was every Sunday going over to my grandfather's house and us all hanging around outside having a barbecue while watching the race. I was at Dover. My mom pulled me out of school for a field trip to go see them do their first practice at Dover Downs on the new concrete.
Oh, damn.
That was my educational school field trip.
that's
Yeah.
a mean little track.
And you know what? I've been to Dover probably 10, 15 times. And you know what? NASCAR is not what it was. And the thing is the other thing that they did is, again, like everything else, to appease where the money was, aka the sponsors, the drivers that end up in NASCAR today are not the same type of drivers that ended up in NASCAR 20, 30 years ago. 20, 30 years ago, drivers were up on the wheel. They were drivers. Today's drivers are pretty faces that look good on a sponsor card.
Well, and that's kind of what Ricky Bobby movie was making fun of. You know,
Yeah.
he was the old school style driver where it's all about driving and winning, and then now they're talking about you got to let your team get up a certain amount to get your points and all that. So that's kind of what it was making fun of.
Yeah, it's all about appeasing the sponsors anymore, and they if you aren't politically correct, if you don't fit in with the what the sponsors and whatever they want, then even if you're the fastest, best driver out there, you're not going to get the spot. Which then you end up getting mundane, boring content. Because the drivers aren't out for each other's throats. They're not freaking looking to whatever. They don't care about, they're not caring about getting that last inch and freaking putting their car on that razor edge to get the win, because they're caring more about making sure their car stays on television the longest. They want to be up in the front, but they don't want to be to the point to where they have a chance of wrecking and being out of the race and then not having a TV spot. So they're not willing to put that pass in the grass from Dale Earnhardt. The battle down the straightaway, beating on each other to the point to where they both wreck right at the start finish. They're not willing to do that shit. Now, a lot of the times they wreck at the start finish line, not because they're battling, but because they make freaking stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miles. Yeah. Then again, you're going 200 miles an hour, so.
Yeah. The Moose thing knocked them down a peg or two.
He's talking about the noose thing that somebody had.
It was a rope that was tied on in the shape of a noose on a garage
door. A couple
door.
years ago. And
Talladega, it was done last year, and this year Bubba Wallace, the only African-American driver, was placed in that garage, and then they made a big, all it was a big publicity stunt.
The guy that's in charge of NASCAR called him and said, hey, we found a noose in your garage. And anyway, it's crazy.
Like I said, I'm so far removed from that anymore, I don't even know.
And then
I can't tell you who the drivers are.
About the Confederate flag, so now nobody can fly Confederate flag at the tracks anymore.
And the thing is that's people can hate me all they want. The rebel flag, which is the traditional what people consider the flag, that in itself is not racist.
Right.
People
have made it racist.
There is an outright racist Southern flag.
Right.
It is actually that rebel flag up in the top corner where we have the stars and the blue field, and then the whole rest of the flag is white. If you look at the descriptions of what the different flags are, okay, that flag flat out says in its description what that field of white represents. And that's what makes that flag racist.
Right. Well, like I said, it's just people using it
as an excuse, as a martyr, as whatever.
I mean, altogether, yeah, it's people that use it because they like the look of it. You go back to 2005, Ludacris rapper was.
Oh, I mean, and the thing is it was not really a racist thing until somebody made it out to be one. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that use it in a racist way, but the majority of people that flew the rebel flag weren't using it in a racist manner.
Beer, drinking, barbecue, and rednecks.
Yeah, exactly. Southern hospitality, Southern way of life, that's what it was used for.
Mm-hmm.
That Southern hospitality.
If they're going to outlaw that as a symbol of slavery and racism, then they should go back to every single state that joined that Confederacy back in the Civil War.
The other thing is
outlaw
again
the state flag of the actual state.
Again, this is, and not to get into a racial debate here, but the Civil War was never about, slavery was involved, but that's not what started the Civil War either.
Exactly.
What started the Civil War was the North.
States' rights.
Yes, was the North trying to tell the South where they could sell their goods. The whole freaking Civil War started because the North kept the South from selling their goods overseas instead of selling them to the North.
Well, it's all about the money.
Yeah, it was. It was about control of goods. And it was about the state rights saying that no, we can do what we want because because of what the Constitution was. And when the North, what the final straw was when the North blocked the Southern ships from leaving the shipping lanes. And that's what started the war. The North had to freaking sell, and the thing is obviously all wars need to be paid for somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you're the North and you're trying to drum up money and drum up people to fight your war, are you going to get them to want to come fund your war because you don't want the South selling their goods overseas, or you need a thing, you need a gimmick, and so the gimmick was slavery.
Sure, and I think most people understand that, and I think most people don't, freak out about the rebel flag or Dixie flag or whatever you want to call it.
Do either.
But of course, it's being sensationalized, and people actually are offended by it. Some people are, especially when it's used in a hateful way.
If it's used in a hateful way, yeah, I can understand that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a KKK member wearing a white sheet and you're freaking flying a Confederate, that's that. Okay, that's that. There's no taking that the wrong way.
Yeah, well, you're a terrorist. You're a terrorist.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what flag you're flying. You could be a terrorist and fly the American flag. It doesn't make the American flag terrorist.
That's right.
It just means you chose to use that.
But people are just
the swastika. The swastika from the German War. The swastika in itself was actually a peace symbol.
Yeah, Native American peace symbol.
The 1500s or something like that in China or something.
Yeah.
Where it originally originated.
And now it's a symbol of hate. All because of one dude. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But whatever, times are changing. Flag's a flag,
right? That's like me. Do I own a rebel flag? Yeah, I do. Am I racist?
Sure,
fuck no, I'm not. I have no problem with what skin color you are. I have more problem with your personality than I do what color skin you got.
Well, that's the way it needs to be. I think
exactly. You judge a person by
as long as you're not out there using it. I don't think most people would say anything about it as long as you're not out there using it as a symbol.
Exactly. So. And of course you got the freaking people that just don't understand that, and media loves playing with those people.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just unneeded drama. It's unneeded bullshit, and nobody's gonna be happy till we're all wearing the same color outfit, the same color shoes, eating the same food every day because it might offend somebody.
I'm sorry, protesters. I drew the line when my mom said I had to go be an altar boy, and I wasn't wearing a damn dress. I'm not going to dress up in a Catholic girl dress now.
Well, the thing is, and even the protesters, they have a right to protest. And a lot of them, the same thing with you led with the flag, a lot of them were protesting exactly the way they should. And some of the things that happened weren't even caused by protesters.
Right.
They were people showing up taking advantage of the protest, or they were showing up because they wanted to sabotage the protests and start riots.
Yep.
On both sides.
Sure. Definitely.
And I don't care what color, race, whatever. There was people from both. It just depended on what their ulterior motives was. You can see videos of of where there was people standing in the back of the crowds. You had the people up in the front that were protesting, doing the signs, doing what they were supposed to do, shouting their message on the side of the street. You know,
using their
and then you
peaceful
had people.
protesting
You
rights.
had this one dude confronting somebody in the background who was chucking stuff at the police in front of the crowds from behind the crowds.
Trying to incite violence. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That whole
And that's the way
And then
always works.
it ruins everything that they're trying to, ruins their message.
I have no
It
problem.
turns people off.
I have no
Oh,
problem. I
yeah.
don't think that any person should be treated. Nobody should go through police brutality. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care what nationality, what race, what sex gender you think you are or want to be. And none of that should matter. You're a human being. You don't need to be brutalized by anybody. And then the other thing is again, it doesn't matter. You have the whole thing of these people weren't squeaky clean either. Does that make it right to treat them differently? No.
Right.
I deal with
just cause for murder.
Right.
It's not punishable by death.
In my last job, my last job that I just left not long ago, I was a direct care worker for a state-run psych ward. Okay? I didn't treat those people any differently than I would treat my friends. Do I have to take a side of precaution in knowing what they're capable of? Yes. And when they went off and they were violent, we didn't slam them up against walls or pin their heads and necks to the floor. Okay? We treated them with as much respect, and the fact that they have made they either weren't in the right state of mind or have made a bad choice, and they deserve to live to right that choice or to learn from it.
Right, but it's just like the police. If the good police, if somebody came up to you and you had a job there and said, "Hey, these things are going on. We need to do some change. We need to do this training or whatever," you'd be down for it.
I think the police need to be. I think the police need to be retaught in how to do some nonviolent. But then the same thing is they're also faced with not knowing when a gun is going to be pulled and they're freaking going to be shot to death on the freaking and not come home that night either.
Of course, right.
But then again, that dude that did the latest stunt with the pinning the guy's head to the ground long after he was already dead.
Yeah, that's just ignorant.
There was not. I guarantee you, that's not in
Nobody
their
could
policy and
stand by
procedures.
that, right?
I don't even think that's in their policy and procedures to begin with. I don't think it was a legal move to begin with. I think he just did it because of his own personality and own drive, which is where he deserves to be prosecuted for such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it also depends on whether or not a police officer, you have to draw a line. When is a police officer self-defense, and when is it just excessive?
Yeah, if you got some dude on the ground.
Yeah, if you got some dude on the ground and he's cuffed, there's no reason to be certain they're pinning him to the ground any longer.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And if he tries to run away, then you cuff his legs too, and
and he's just laying there.
He's
not going anywhere.
Right.
There's things you could have done. There was no reason for you to continue to hold him down, especially after the paramedics were there.
Well, and especially after he passes out.
Exactly, he's done. In where I used to work, as soon as they went down to the ground, you let them go.
Sure.
If they went down to the ground, you let go, you backed off. If they came after you again, okay, you put them back in another hold. But their holds were all up in the air. Okay? We were never pinning them against the wall, we were never pinning them against the floor. They were either between two people or just one person. Never pinned against something. Because it restricts airways. It causes, them to suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
It boggles my mind. And it shouldn't be, and that's part of where I slightly disagree with the BLM, is it shouldn't be about the color of your skin.
Right, because there's people getting killed by the police
on all sides. There's people killing the police all over the place.
Right.
And the thing is it's not necessarily a color of your skin issue as per se an area that you live issue.
Well, the stupid war on drugs, it's not working. Has more people in jail. There's more people in jail in this country than the whole world combined.
Yeah, there's people going to jail for longer sentences for having some weed on them than there are for people that have committed actual burglary.
Yeah, or rape.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
agree. The whole system.
You get more time for marijuana than you do for rape.
Yeah, and I
So,
think that
even if you rape a little kid.
There was that whole thing with the Brock Turner thing, or the judge didn't want him to do any time because it might affect his future.
Yeah,
Like he should have thought of that about that before he performed a heinous crime.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he affected his. He messed his future up himself. So
exactly, and and that's what causes people to get upset is when people get away with shit that they shouldn't be getting away with.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like somebody didn't know what he did. It's on camera. It's right there.
Well, they're saying he got off because he's white. I don't think so. I think he got off because he has money.
Yeah.
If he was a poor white guy, he'd be in jail.
Exactly. And again, that's not white privilege because there are plenty of rich black people. There's plenty of rich
right.
Chinese people.
Sure. People of all colors, races, religion.
Yeah, and I
have money. If you got money, it goes along with it.
It was peer pressure.
Okay.
You still got your own mind on your shoulders, so peer pressure is just top out excuse.
And the thing is peer pressure isn't the things that you said and did when you weren't on the job either.
Mm-hmm.
When you're wearing white supremacist clothing when you're off duty and you have it on your social media, that kind of sets where your mind's at.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like the Trump Make America Great Again. I think it was a hat that was similar to that, but I think it was Make White Great Again. I think is what the actual slogan said on it that I saw. Yeah, that's uncalled for. That's clearly a racist dig, which means your mindset is clearly not
neutral.
Not neutral, yes. You're not going into a situation and looking at it from an unbiased position. You're going in there with a biased mindset and of course
preconceived ideas.
And the way you're going to treat the situation is going to be different than if you would have went in there with an unbiased, open opinion. We have a thing where I used to work. You did not go into a situation if you weren't, if you had a bad deal with that client, you didn't go in when that client was having a crisis. You left that to how many other people that are there that can handle that situation with a clean mind. Because that unclean mind is going to cause you to do and change your thoughts and your actions. You're going to do something you're going to regret.
Well, and then when you do get police officers that have an issue, just don't put them back out in the field right off. Give them a little time. Work it out.
It's not a punishment.
PTSD is a real thing.
Oh yeah, trust me. You work in my field. PTSD is definitely a real thing.
And it's I guess people are shaming people and stuff for it, just like they used to in the military. So
there's a reason why
police
I
have
no
PTSD.
longer. There's a reason why I got out of working doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I don't work with those type of people anymore. I'm just not direct care anymore. Because the clients we were getting became more violent. And we were not getting, the pay or the training to deal with those said type of clients. And I got injured, 3 times in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see myself it being a viable source of income, and I didn't feel like being permanently injured. What is that, a life-changing injury?
Right.
I've had 2 life-changing injuries in the last 2 years. I can't close my pinky or use my right hand to its full extent I could have 3 years ago, and my shoulder got yanked out of its freaking socket last year.
Which, considering what could have happened, you're pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you consider the fact that my pinky got ripped all the way back to my wrist backwards, and my tendon came out around my hand, I'm lucky to be able to use it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could have been worse, and that's one of those things. It's I don't dislike the people.
Sure.
I still want to help them. I just have to change how I do it.
Sure.
So now I'm a manager and I take care of people with mental disabilities, or I oversee a house of people with mental disabilities, and I enjoy my job. I still get to help these type of people. they still deserve help and love just as much as anybody else, but I'm not necessarily completely in direct harm's way anymore. So, yeah, I don't blame the people, I blame the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Live PD and cops is still good. And you know what? Cops aren't bad. It's individuals that are bad.
Yeah.
I don't support defunding the cops. I don't support defunding schools or anything else either.
Right.
But money's got to come from somewhere.
Sure.
And honestly, if I had to come down to it, I'd rather put money into the people that are going to be there when I need them than necessarily, it's just, I don't know. There's a whole, like I said, there's a whole reason why I didn't do live streams for the last couple of weeks. A lot of this being one of them, because stuff was way too tense. People were way too up in arms about things and way too sensitive. And I didn't want this show to be an explosion of that in the wrong way. It's okay to talk about things, but when people are too tense, that's not the right time to talk about it.
Yeah, they can't have a conversation without getting.
You can't have a conversation when you're angry. It doesn't work. It's one of the things. It's one of the best things that my girlfriend has taught me. The one that I'm with now. Me and my ex, when we got upset, we would hash it out right then and there. And we'd end up yelling and whatever at each other, and that's one thing that me and my current don't do. When either one of us is upset, now this is something that I would normally have done anyway, but I'm also one of those people who I like to get something done and over with, but I'm also not one of those people that likes to yell or get in arguments. But like when me and my girlfriend have right now, if we have a disagreement or whatever, normally one of us will walk away. Give each other time to think and whatever and get our thoughts together, and then we'll come back and talk about it later. I can't tell you the last time me and Jess have had a screaming match at each other. I can't think of one. We've been together for 5 years. 6 years. Not had one not one yelling at each other fight.
Well, you take time and think about it and
come
look
back
at it
with a
from the
level
other
head.
person's view. Yeah. So you can put yourself in their situation.
Yeah, it gives you time to do that too.
And then they'll put themselves in your situation. Then you come back and say, okay, this is why I was upset.
Mm-hmm. You come to a you learn to understand where somebody else was coming from and why that upset them, why it upset you, and how to express that to the other person without yelling and being derogatory and cursing and screaming, and it doesn't get anywhere.
And with all this going on, I still think most Americans are like that. Most Americans can still sit down and have a conversation. But
Pilot, that is
Facebook,
definitely wrong. Me and my ex had plenty of arguments when we were both naked.
Yeah.
And they didn't always end in fun.
Right.
It's all right. Being naked does not stop you from having an argument when you're that angry.
I guess it depends on how good she looks.
Not always. It depends on how freaking insane someone is as well.
Right. Oh, yeah. There's some crazy ones out there.
So, anyway, it is.
Damn, honey.
It is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Remind me of that old cartoon, Droopy the dog. Are you a basset hound or what?
All right. It is 1 o'clock in the morning, and I want to leave. I kind of don't want to leave it here, but I think we need to. Think about the places and the positions that you're in now, and how you can be better in the future. And everybody needs to stay safe. Shit's crazy, and you don't need to be joining it. So,
That's right.
Hopefully, we will be back with more car content next week. And hopefully, we're here next week. I mean, next week is what, 4th of July weekend?
Yeah.
Dang, already, yeah. This year's
so
flying by.
hopefully you guys will be back here next weekend. Hopefully I can get enough people to come join me up here on the live stream. If we aren't here next week, we will definitely be here the week after, but I am shooting for next week. It depends on how many people I can get to pop up here with me. So, all right. Until then, I will catch you guys later. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Good night.
See y'all.
Peace.